Trust me, bro, I read it online in a post with a neon sign. Some dude named Chad said it's legit. If it's on YouTube, it's gotta fit. Algorithms know my soul. Feed me truth in a comment scroll. Trust me, bro. Science, I'm in the know. Got my PhD from a Facebook show. I got facts you can't deny. Shit by a guy with a mullet tie. Pyramids were built by vibes. Protein shakes cure all divides. Hollow earth, yeah man, that's the key. Just ask this guy, he's 93. Follow me down the rabbit hole. The truth is out there, TikTok told. Trust me, bro. Science, I'm certified. Buy a meme with a rocket slide. I've got theories, don't ask why. Saw them all in a Snapchat guide. Trust me, bro. Science says so. The pixels don't lie. I'm in the know. Trust me, bro. Science says so. Facebook's the lab where the geniuses grow.
Sorry about the pause. I had everything ready but my coffee. Right. Audio should be pretty good. I have been having some issues with the cable. Oh, we're going to get into conspiracy culture. We're going to get down to the bottom of shit. That's what we're going to do. All right, everything looks good. Everything sounds good. Trust me, bro. Yeah, it's always cabling. All right. We'll move this over here. Always got to make room for the coffee. Man, I've been so busy. I'm going 100 miles an hour, doing all kinds of things. Getting ready for it's just like last year. Hey, ASM Future says, I know a guy with a mullet tie. Listen, we have, just like last year, right before NFL, I closed the door on Cypher, and it's necessary. I'm doing it again because this year we're doing something we didn't even do last year. Last year I took two trips to Vegas, but and I'm going to do it again this year. But last year it was just me and two techs, two guys that really know their shit, and all three of us were on the screen. And every week we were doing NFL predictions, and this year is not like that because last year was a learning experience, and we have people that are masters at the software now. So we're doing something totally different with Cypher. And just like last year, I'm going to shut the door before the season begins. So this is like the last month right here before you can get in. And then we're not opening the door again, just like last year, until after Super Bowl. After Super Bowl, we'll open the door and people can join. But during NFL, we can't have those interruptions. We can't have new people coming in, having to catch them up. And besides, a lot of people during NFL are trying to get in for the wrong reasons. So I just don't want to hear it, guys. I was real friendly last year. I let some people in past the deadline, and you know what? I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy this year. This year we have a full panel of people in Cypher that are all doing NFL predictions at the exact same time. And everybody's predictions is going into another program that is going to filter all those and show us the absolute percentages. What we're doing, yeah, we're going to blow the doors off this year. So I'm just letting you know, because I'm still getting emails about what we're doing with NFL this year. Well, I'm telling you, we're going to blow the doors out. But NFL preseason's coming up quick, and we're going to shut the doors. So if you want in, you got to get in. You got to get in before that, because after that, I'm not going to be like last year. There comes a time where I have to act with iron fist dominion, or I'm not taken seriously. And so I'm just not. All that friendly shit's out the door. I've given people plenty of time. All right, now I got a meetup. I got a meetup coming with good Aaron's in Ireland. I'll join them for 2 or 3 hours doing a Q&A. And I'll be in San Diego later this year. We're going to have a beach party. We're going to have a full day meetup, hang out at restaurants and bars, act bad, party. That'll be September 26th and 27th. Coming up. I don't know if any of my mods have the link to the tickets. I'm terrible at promoting things, guys. I should have links and all kinds of stuff set up. I just don't. Let's see. I'm going to remove that from the studio. Thank you, Awake Aaron. You're going to go. This is a trip down memory lane because you're familiar or you have heard of these conspiracies. There's no doubt. But we're going to put them into context. And basically, they have been listed for you in this video, basically in proportion to how they were chronologically received by the public. So we have somebody asked about Florida in the future. I did one in Tampa like 2.5 years ago. I'll probably come back. Of course I'll come back. I just don't know when. Let's see. I'm going to share the screen real quick. Some of you are going to hear some stuff you've never heard in this video, and you're also going to hear some findings that you've never heard before. New ways to assess what's been unfolding. The internet has been beautiful in our ability to go back in time and see how the public mindset has been molded with one psyop after another, conditioned to receive future psyops. Everything is done by think tanks. We've talked about this many times in Archaics. Nothing enters the public sector without first going through multiple sieves. Listen, these people are genius at what they do. There is no doubt. No doubt. We've heard all the psyops. You remember just recently, what was it, 2 years ago, about the massive amount of law enforcement that was on location because people were swearing up and down multidimensional creatures or aliens were in the streets, and they've got some blurry footage of things, and it was just so crazy. Did we ever even learn the truth of what happened in the Florida aliens psyop? And all the times they switched out Biden, we lost track. After Biden 4, we lost track. Are we on Biden 5? Is this the 6th rollout of Biden? The whole Charlie Kirk debacle, which was really the takedown of TPUSA, turning it into basically an Israeli op instead of a American patriotic front. It was hijacked, no doubt. The whole Epstein affair, I recently come across a video clip that just shocked me. I showed it in the underground. I can't show it on YouTube. I showed it on the underground, and it literally tells you who's who in between Alex Jones and Joe Rogan. So I've always been critical of Joe Rogan, but now I have a new way of looking at it. I can actually be impressed. Yeah. Even though I consider him a barf parrot, and I classify everybody in social media, you're either a barf parrot or you're a Dunning-Kruger. As far as the negative aspects, there's a lot of positive people out there, telling things as they see it. Well, at one time, Joe Rogan was, and I showed this clip to my underground community and my Cypher community. It blew my mind because Joe Rogan was telling the truth. He was literally asking questions that showed he knew the absolute truth, and he was being gaslit so terrible by Alex Jones. Alex Jones was being absolutely obnoxious in the video, trying to shut Joe Rogan up, trying. He was gaslighting, misdirecting, misquoting. He was just doing stupid antics just to get Joe Rogan befuddled and to get him to stop asking those questions. And in the clip, I actually got I admired Joe Rogan's when he got mad, because after the third time he brought something up, and after 3 times Alex Jones gaslit the shit out of him and just mowed over him, he got pissed. And what he said was almost missed by the camera, because even the cameraman was in on it. Even the cameraman was in on helping Alex Jones gaslight Joe. This is a younger Joe Rogan. But, since then, Joe Rogan signed the contract. We all know he got a Spotify deal. He took millions of dollars, and now he will not talk about those people. But damn, in this video, he was giving up the business. So, yeah, little things like that, man. I was impressed. The videos in the underground. So, we have, the whole Hillary Clinton email about the tomb of Gilgamesh. And then we have people showing their IQ off by even asking us to entertain if this video clip that looks like a 1950s B movie prop with its eyes opening is actually Gilgamesh coming back to life, resurrected after 5,000 years. It's just so comical. Was the Kandahar giant in Afghanistan even real? There's so many different things. Three-eye Atlas. I know from the very beginning, I was telling you guys, this is 100% psyop. The whole Three-Eye Atlas bullshit. It may come here. Yeah, it's what happened to that story. What about Greer? What about this weird dude Greer? His whole face is just weird. Yeah, all right, listen, man, I don't care about offending people. I really don't. My whole life has been offensive to many people. But when it comes to this Greer guy, and I look at him, it's like, God damn, man. Who sucked your face out of a vacuum, man? Why you look like that? Is it a mask? I mean, is it normal for somebody to look? I mean, how do you? I don't understand, man. He looks like Groucho Marx and Bart Simpson put together, and I'm supposed to take him seriously. And especially the stupid shit that comes out of his mouth. How in the hell do you always have access to top secret information and you're not in Leavenworth? How did that happen? But equally so, how is it that I don't know, man. Sometimes I just need to shut up. How is it that you can get on a podcast and attempt to communicate to us, me particularly, because I'm listening, that I'm supposed to believe all this BS, that you come into contact with all this secretive data and you don't have alphabet boys knocking on your door asking you where you got that information? Because that's exactly what would happen in real life if you ever got on a podcast and you work for Wright-Patterson, reverse engineering corps, Wright-Patterson Air Base, and you worked underground beneath the Air Force Base, and you were doing all that top secret stuff that people actually say is done at Hangar 18, Area 51, which was always misdirection. It was always bullshit. There's nothing going on there. It was always at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. From the Area 51 UFO footage and all that bullshit. How do you get access to all this data? And the CIA hasn't come over there and put something up your butt and turned up the volume, man, so you start singing like a bird. How did that not happen? I just don't get it, man, why people think we're so stupid. We're not stupid. We're not dumb. So therefore, it's agenda driven. All these whistleblowers. I mean, I got problems with all this, guys. These people that are put on social media and they're giving us the business and the truth. Listen, I know a lot of you like to listen to like Catherine Austin Fitz, and I don't have any direct proof that she's anything other than what she says, but I have to process. Yeah, the good Lord gave me the ability to analyze and and basically to reduce everything to its lowest common denominators. So if trillions of dollars have disappeared from the budget, I get it. And different reports show that the money's missing and we don't know where it went. And it disappeared into the military industrial complex. It disappeared into the underground dumps. Okay, I get it. Catherine Austin Fitz paints the picture at all, and she's the whistleblower coming out. Why are you alive? Why? I don't even get it. I don't understand. There's some huge intellectual gulf here that I have to jump. And I don't like what I'm jumping over. I said, how do you get to release all this to the public? Because if it's true, trillions of dollars is a huge motive to snuff somebody out and shut them up. So how do you just get all these spots, man, to talk to all these damn people and steady talk about all this? Because it's true, trillions of dollars have come up missing. But why do they want the public to know it? Why do they allow people who were formerly in bed with international bankers and spent their life in banking cartels all of a sudden become truthers with a conscience who are allowed to say things that have gotten lesser men killed? I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't understand how it's possible. I don't know, man. Jeffrey Bailey, they just can't kill them all for free speech. That's true. That's true. Absolutely. That's absolutely. But trillions of dollars. Yeah, we know truthers that have been killed for a whole lot less than exposing where a whole bunch of information. So my point is this. I am not claiming anybody's lying. My point is that if information has been revealed into the tightly managed, tightly controlled public sector, then it's for you to know. It is the intent for you to know. That's my point. Oh, it's a lot of money. It's not just 9/11. It's not just 9/11. There was 3 different stimulus packages that under the Biden administration, Nancy Pelosi was allowed to just push through. Trillions of dollars. We don't know where that money went. Yeah, we don't know shit. Yeah, man, it's all crazy. It's so crazy. That dude Greer. Come on, man. How the hell you get top secret level deal, man? What are you doing, man? I tell you what, I'm gonna go on this podcast tomorrow. So let me go in my pantry, go in here, and I got this secret panel behind my pantry on the 3rd shelf, and I open the pantry up. This is Greer. Pull out this box. I pull out this box and turn it around. I reach into the box and I'll pull out my Cracker Jack CIA decoder deal, and I'll look at the newest cereal box that came out, and I'll bring it back in, turn it around, and go through my decoder, and I'll know what to talk about on tomorrow's podcast. Man, shut the fuck up. It has gotten so stupid what we're hearing in social media. There is no way this isn't by design. That people even fall for all this stupid shit. Yeah, man, Greer's something else. I feel dirty when I listen to him. It's like, damn, dude. I don't know, man. Might be like on Men in Black. Take off that weird face you got, dude. Just peel that whole face off, man, with some face with tentacles all popping out. Yeah, man, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Dude's just weird, man. Yeah, man. So weird. So there's all kinds of theories out there, like replacement theory. Is it a theory? Is it a theory that is kind of obvious now that international globalist controllers are literally trying to replace European stock with people from India and Pakistan in the Middle East and flooding them in all these Western countries. Is it a theory? Because it used to be called replacement theory, but by now, if you've been paying attention, it should be called replacement fact or operation replacement. Yeah, man, it shouldn't even be called. All the fake news and all the psyops, and you guys have heard. I mean, so many things like hollow Earth theory. We'll talk about the missing scientist. You know, just shit like that, man. It's just shit that's been on my mind. But actually, I'm going to show you something. I got something prepared for you right here. Let's talk about some of these things. Oh man, I hope I don't have any visitors right now. I hear a bunch of hogs. Shit. I'll find out if somebody knocks on the door. I hear heavy engines. Okay, now share my screen. Let's get straight into this. That's what you're here for. Straight into this. Let me see how I can do this better. Yeah, man. One of these days I'll get a better setup than this. But this is what I'm working with. This is what I'm working with, guys. So, the Illuminati. We've all heard this. But do you know this may be the 250th year since American independence, but it's also the 250th year since Europe exploded with a controversy about the Illuminati. And books and pamphlets and bulletins were started to get circulated after Adam Weishaupt was caught with a bunch of Illuminati documents by the Bavarian police. The Bavarian government read these documents and realized, holy shit, there is a conspiracy to overturn the individual national autonomies and create a one world controlling system. And the participants were dubbed the Illuminati, the illumined ones. It was control of governments by secret societies. And the Bavarian government even sent copies of their reports to the new fledgling United States, the 13 colonies, and they distributed their report to all kinds of European deals. And that's when the secret societies began to put out publications about how stupid the Illuminati was and how the whole conspiracy theory was so dumb because they got exposed. It happened fast. It was just like American independence, 1776. It was 250 years ago that the Illuminati conspiracy came to the public mindset. And then many books about the Illuminati were published in the late 1700s and all throughout the 1800s. Secret society control, the Illuminati had fingers in the Freemasons, the skull and bones, Rosicrucians, the Moose Lodge, the Elk Lodge, the Foresters. They're a hidden elite network pulling the strings behind governments, media, entertainment, events, for world domination. The ultimate symbol for the Illuminati, the illumined ones, was the eye over the pyramid. This all-seeing eye, sees everything. They had taken a very ancient symbol and turned it into something darker. This is the Illuminati. And it's a theory that goes back a long way, guys. It goes back a long way. So I'm not going to be able to. I'm going to have to open that up. There we go. So the next big theory that started emerging in the 1800s was just how much the Rothschilds were controlling the world through central banking. This is not a new theory, guys. With the internet, it became very popular, but it is by far not a new idea. Yeah, since the Rothschilds, during the Napoleonic Wars, the Rothschilds rose to not just fame, but notoriety. That's the Rothschilds, central banking elite cartel. Private banking families, the Rothschilds, is a Jewish family. And institutions like the Federal Reserve control worldwide money, economies, wars, and governments for profit and power. So I'm gonna go back to the Illuminati real quick because I forgot to ask you guys. In the chat right now, it's real simple. Do you believe the Illuminati is a real thing, or was it just invented and the police found some false bullshit in 1775 and 1776? Yes, the Illuminati is real. No, the Illuminati is bullshit. Put it in the chat. We're going to do this for every single one of these for these conspiracies. Yes or no? Yes or no? Was the Illuminati real, or is the Illuminati real, or is it bullshit? Yes or no? Because with these yes or no questions, we can actually do a really interesting exercise at the end of this video. At the end of this video, we can go through the yeses and nos, and we can run every single one of these through AI. We can choose a different AI. It could be Claude, it could be Not Diamond, which harvests all the other AIs into one, or it could be Grok. But we could take this and say, hey, assuming that every one of these conspiracies are true, you know what I mean? We'll just take the ones you guys say yes to. The ones you say no to, we won't add them to the list. But the ones you say yes to, we can tell AI, assuming these are true, what's really going on in the world. Here are all the conspiracies that I want you to take into consideration are true. Now, tell us what's really going on in the world. It's simple, a simple exercise. Very simple. Now, Illuminati. All right, cool. So what about Rothschild central banking elite cartel? Do you really think there's hundreds of books published about it, many videos? I mean, do you think that there is a central banking elite cartel running the finances of the world and they were spearheaded by the Rothschilds? It's simple yes or no. Excuse me, simple yes or no. Do you believe it's true, or is it just total bullshit? Okay. I don't need to see a lot. I just need to see the majority. The majorum speaks. All right, then. Let's go to the next one then. Here's the next one. What do you think about George Soros as puppet master elite? We're talking about a multi-billionaire who funds, it doesn't even make it a secret, guys, funds chaos. This is like Dr. Evil. He funds chaos, migrations, protests. He funds whole political movements worldwide to destabilize societies for a new world order or globalist agendas. We're not really focused on why. We're just focused on him. Is George Soros really a billionaire who is funding mass migrations, protests, psyops? Is he funding political parties? Is he funding all kinds of private military deals? Is he funding general chaos in Western nations? Yeah, George Soros, a billionaire who is Jewish. Yes or no? Is George Soros openly doing all the things that he claims to be doing and other people claim he's doing, or is it total bullshit? Yes or no? Mandatory. I get it. He's the front man. But that doesn't change the fact. Is he doing it or not? Yes, in his own words, he did say he swore to destroy America. Okay. So far, I'm the only. So far, we already have. So far, we already have three yeses. I will delete any section that you guys say no to, so we don't include them in our AI deal. Yeah, man. All right. What about this? Is it true that there's ongoing MK Ultra style mind control? Like, what's that movie? The Manchurian Candidate. The CIA continue, or they have these evolved mind control programs via media, drugs, technology, subliminal implantation in billboards, electronic boards, in television programming, the subliminals that are put in there just for mind control. Is there an intelligence apparatus involved in MK Ultra style mind control of individuals or the population? Yes or no? Just a yes or a no. Oh, somebody said Mockingbird. I know you've been, I know you're on it. I know you're on it. Okay. I know you're on it. No. All right, cool. I like awesome. You guys, this is gonna be. I haven't done it yet because I don't know what you're gonna say yes to, and I don't know what you're gonna say no to. So I have not seen any AI output taking all these things into consideration and painting us a picture of what's really going on in the world. I haven't seen it. This is a new experiment for me as well. As a matter of fact, over 24 hours ago, I didn't even know I was gonna be doing this video. It just popped in my head after I did the breaking down the New Testament, the Jesus story, the gospel story, and reducing it to its lowest common denominators, all the arguments for or against Jesus, for or against Paul in the historical record and in the in-textual evidence. After doing that video, it dawned on me, why in the F have I not done that for all the conspiracies? I don't know why. So that's what we're doing here. All right, man. Like that. What about Bohemian Grove, elite occult rituals? Now, this started coming out in the 1990s real hard in different magazines like Paranoia magazine and lesser known magazines. So, Bohemian Grove elite occult rituals, when powerful elites, some of them known, some of them are not known, politicians, CEOs, when they attend these secretive gatherings like Bilderbergers, involving mock human sacrifices. Although I'm going to say sometimes we have evidence that they're real human sacrifices. Well, we're going to go with the mock human sacrifices, occult ceremonies to consolidate power, world events, so that people who in public seem like they have no connections are making moves that actually help. They're in tandem. They're helping each other, and it's at these Bohemian Grove type gatherings when they actually make their plans and their decisions. The reason being is because they know that we live in a technologically advanced society and that intelligence agencies are listening to every communication in the world. So they go to these places on private property way out there, and they actually make these business deals and all that in person with no device. These guys, they turn their phones in, guys. They turn their phones and devices. They're checked and everything. It's just the people in there. They want no one listening. So, is it true? Do these Bohemian Grove elite rituals actually take place? Whether or not the sacrifices are real or not, it doesn't matter. Do these Bohemian Grove elite occult rituals and gatherings of the elite actually take place? Yes or no? Okay. All right. So we're going to move on. We got a lot of these to go through, guys, and they're going to get more and more. Some of you are going to learn about conspiracies you've never heard of. I guarantee you there's going to be some of y'all having some aha moments when we go to talking about CEOs here in a little while. Some shit CEOs have said that'll blow your mind. All right. Here's a real simple one, but it covers a lot, man. The New World Order. We hear about it all the time. Ever since 1991, the dude wrote that book, New World Order, and other people have copied it. So a secretive cabal of international elites like bankers, politicians, corporations, the United Nations, a World Economic Forum, all working together. The New World Order is engineering a totalitarian one world government, eroding, this is huge, it's criminal, guys, it's absolutely criminal, eroding national sovereignty, like weakening the Declaration of Independence, weakening the Articles of Confederation, weakening the Constitution of the United States and constitutions of other sovereign nations. Yeah, it's actually treasonous. It's criminal. That's why they'll never openly admit that they're doing all these things, but are they doing it? Is there an agenda to create a new world order? Yeah, this is all post-Cold War shift. It's emphasizing globalists over communists. This is how they painted it at first, because everybody was against communists. So yes or no, is the New World Order an actual plan that is being executed right now, or is it just bullshit? Well, yeah, man. We are already in a New World Order. Nancy Neal, I kind of agree with that. All right. 9/11. We all know what 9/11 did. What happened? 2 planes knocked down 3 buildings. That's 9/11. So on September 11th, 2001, was 9/11 an inside job by elites? I mean, the U.S. government or powerful elites, did they orchestrate the attacks as a false flag to justify Western military invasion of the Middle East? To justify mass surveillance through executive orders and new cabinet level, redesigning the cabinet level of the United States government? Was 9/11 an inside job to advance the New World Order? 9/11 has jet fuel burning to collapse 2 tempered blue steel buildings, the World Trade Towers. But a 3rd building, not even hit by a jet, also collapsed. Massive building too. Just wasn't as tall as the first 2. So, was 9/11 an inside job? Is it just coincidence that all the Jewish employees, there were thousands of them, had a special app on their phones, and their app warned them that morning not to go to work? Is it coincidence? Is it a coincidence that Larry Silverstein, who owned the World Trade Centers, just recently took out a huge insurance policy out on both of those buildings? On the whole complex. Larry Silverstein, also prominently Jewish. So I'm going to ask you now, yes or no, was 9/11 an inside job and not a terrorist attack? Yes or no? Yeah, man. So it begs the question. So far. We're just getting started on these conspiracies, but it begs the question. If it's already public knowledge that they've done all these things, is it meant for you to know? They're not killing all the authors who wrote these books, who filed these reports, all the podcasters that openly talked about it, all the people that have done a whole bunch of research on these things for the rest of us to develop our own opinions and weigh the facts. None of it was suppressed. Every bit of it was thrown out there for you to know. Yeah, David Icke's covered it very extensively. He did a really good job too. Yeah, David Icke's another one, man. We'll talk about him in a minute. But he's another one. It's like shit, man. He's been nailing it. He's been nailing it, and they've left him alone. And he's nailed several things, reptilians, all that shit. He's talked about Rothschilds, reptilians, inside job, 9/11. David Icke has covered the majority of the conspiracies. So, like Catherine Austin Fitts, what agenda is unfolding here when people can so openly expose the nefarious acts of the elite? What agenda is really? I mean, what's really happening here? Is it a karmic discharge to be able to tell the truth about the most evil acts you've committed and therefore escape any type of scrutiny or punishment? What's really going on here? Do they need people like David Icke and Catherine Austin Fitts to convey what they have done in order to be absolved karmically from what's going on? Yeah, this gets deep. The more you process this information, things don't make sense unless there's more going on than what's on the surface. So that's 9/11. What about HARP technology, weather and disaster control? Yeah. HARP isn't anything new. I know many people just started hearing about it because they started getting into conspiracy literature since 2010 or something like that. But there were books published about HARP in the 1990s. HARP technology has been widely known since then. Back then, everybody was calling those authors crazy in the 1990s when Paranoia magazine and Nexus magazine and other obscure truth-telling magazines on conspiracies were being widely circulated in the 90s. But HARP technology's been around. The ability to weaponize the weather, manipulate the weather, cause earthquakes, hurricanes, engineer disasters, so companies that you own can go up there and clean the mess. So real estate moguls that you control can come in here and redevelop the entire area. So contracting companies that you own can come in here and rebuild the whole area after all the contracts are signed through the real estate moguls. Yeah, man. Is HARP technology real? Can we weaponize the weather? Yes or no? Yeah, man. Chat's moving, isn't it? Chat's on fire. I can't keep up with it. Oh, Code Red Girl, thank you. Let's see. Oh, whoever gave me that $99, I appreciate that too. I can't keep up with the chat. All right, so we're all in agreement with the old HARP. Okay, here's a real simple one. The deep state. So do you believe in the existence of a shadow government? It has its own military. It has its own submarine fleet. It has its own helium balloon suspended spy satellites. It has members in every government in the world. And those members all recognize each other. They are deep state. They may be in Ukraine. Some of them may be in Israel. Some of them may be in Germany. Many of them are in the United States. Some of them would be in Venezuela. Some of them would be in Colombia. But they would be deep state, working for a deeper cause. Unelected elites within intelligence agencies, bureaucracies, powerful interests secretly running the governments of the world, undermining elected officials. Do you believe in the existence of a deep state, or is it bullshit? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yeah, continuity of government is a catchphrase because they're not telling you what government they're trying to continue. Yeah, man. Moving on up. So far, we're in absolute agreement. We have had no There's no disparity between what I'm conveying and what you're receiving. So far, we're all in agreement. So let's go to the next one. From Deep State, reptilian shapeshifters. This is the first one. This is the first conspiracy that's a little out there. It's like, damn, we have to suspend our disbelief in the things that we have been raised to believe are true in order to entertain something as radical as this. But once you have assessed the data, David Icke makes a compelling case. So I've done one video. I've done one video on reptilian shapeshifters because it's not the Archaics research. It has nothing to do with chronology. It has nothing to do with mathematical systems. It has nothing to do with simulation theory. As our Archaics is all about showing that simulation theory is viable through the historical record and the impossible arithmetic that align historic events. That's what this channel was founded on. That's the principle. Reptilian shapeshifters is just something we entertained because it was a lot of stuff in archaeology and historical texts that we wanted to talk about. And also we're dealing with tertiary fields and vapor canopy environments. So you know what? David Icke's probably right. Those damn slee stacks exist. So reptilian shapeshifters. Many world elites and leaders are actually like interdimensional reptilian aliens in human form, or we don't even have to go that far. We don't even have to go. We don't even have to say interdimensional. They're stuck here with us, but they're able to masquerade as humans for short periods of time, unless they're feeling anxious or anxiety. They're surrounded. They know they're up under the camera, and sometimes they shapeshift. They go natural, and we catch it. So this is the theory. This is the theory, highly popularized by David Icke's books. So, yes or no, are there reptilian shapeshifters in our world? Whether you believe they're in the underworld or on the surface, none of that matters. Just yes or no. Do you believe that there are reptilian shapeshifters masquerading as humans every once in a while, right here in our world? It's a yes or no question. All right. This was the one that really surprises me. I figured there'd be some pushback, but yes, this is a yes all the way. Only Blunt bitch said she wasn't sure. Wow. It's a yes all the way down until I got a few no's. I got 2 no's. All right. E2 Row and Truth Seeker both say no. Phoenix Chronicles Universe. Do I know you? Phoenix Chronicles Universe says, I don't know. Everybody else says yes. Wow. Somebody said, D Gut says, isn't it just demonic possession? Yeah, well, now you're attempting to get me to package an independent theory into a Christian frame. I'm not going to do that. I'm just asking for a yes or a no. Cool. We got some no's in there. We got some no's in there, but we don't have near as many no's as we have yeses, which doesn't mean it's true. It just means that's the temperament of the type of people who watch or listen to Archaics. I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be absolutely fair. Yes, Jordan Maxwell did say the same thing. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I am going to make a note right here. I'm going to make a note right here. Yeah, 70-30. All right, we'll come back to that later. All right. Those pesky chemtrails. Those pesky chemtrails. So we still haven't really identified. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put that in. Hi, Clay's Pigeon. One Tux. I was trying to hit my new comments, which sends me all the way to the bottom of the thread fast, and I accidentally hit somebody's comment there. Okay, so chemtrails. I haven't asked a question yet, but we haven't really identified as a community. We haven't identified what chemtrails are. And the reason I'm saying that, I understand there's many people think it's geoengineering by the elite. Contrails from planes contain chemicals sprayed by the governments. There's no disagreement there. So the disagreement is on what the hell is the agenda. Is it multiple agendas playing out? I don't know. I do know this. I do have friends in aviation and in the military. And I don't know why this isn't more known. I get it that people think that the chemtrails are for depopulation and for poisoning your plants and all that. And I don't know, man. I'm not saying they're not. But I have some pretty intelligent colleagues. And I was given a scenario about I don't know how much I can even talk about. Put it to you this way. A new threat entered military industrial complexes awareness because they're the ones started using it. But it's a new threat. And it means that objects that are super tiny that don't give off radar blips were going to be a huge problem in the future defense contracting. So they had come up with a way to distribute particulates in the air so that even things as tiny as drones the size of insects could still be mapped and watched by radar systems. And that deliberate misinformation was given to the public on why a bunch of certain types of towers were all set up, and they didn't care that people actually thought those towers were there to kill them. They didn't care because their true function and what they were doing was mapping out how different countries are now using drones the size of insects, swarms of them, to do different things. And like I said, I don't know how much I can talk about. It's because I was told this in confidence. But what is being sprayed enables them through this interface to see everything just 2 or 3 feet above the ground in some areas all over the entire United States, and be able to map every single thing that's in the air at any time in real time and know exactly what its size is, velocity, trajectory, and all that. So yeah, I don't know, guys. So when it comes to chemtrails, we're not going to yay or nay what the hell they're for or why. We're just going to say right here, are chemtrails real? Are chemtrails real, or is it just the exhaust coming out of jets? Are chemtrails really spraying something? We don't care what it is, but are chemtrails really spraying something, or is it total bullshit? Is it just ice crystals coming out of jet contrails? Yeah, man. I need to see these comments real quick. I may have to delete something. Yeah. It could be a yes, Mr. C. I'm in agreement. It could be a multifaceted. It could be a multifaceted program. But from what I understand and what I was told was that no apparatus was even necessary like this, because the radar domes that we have are so sophisticated, but they're only going to pick up things the size of a small Piper. For those of you who don't know what a Piper is, it's a single engine aircraft, stilt wings, high wings with fixed landing gear. It only holds 2 people. It's a Piper. It's like a Cessna, a little small municipal aircraft. It's all fiberglass. It's really small, but our radar is sophisticated to pick on treetops. We can pick those up. But once drones became a thing, and all different size drones that can carry explosives and all that became a thing, this new apparatus had to be laid out and fast. So I'm just saying, this is what I was led to believe. I'm not saying that what they're spraying doesn't have repercussions to the environment. I'm trying to stick with the facts as most as possible, guys. All right, let me scroll down again. All right. Let's see here. So the next one after chemtrails. And I didn't need to do that, did I? Okay, so we all know what predictive programming in media is. We all know how that movies have these subliminal movies have these things that seem to be, irrelevant until all of a sudden something unfolds in reality that mirrors exactly what we saw in a cinematic production. The Simpsons, all these episodes of The Simpsons, very harrowing how these things seem to unfold in real life years later, sometimes decades later. So, in entertainment, in media, in movies, in stage plays, cinematic productions, even in radio, Hollywood, television, music, the lyrics in music often foreshadow and psychologically prepare the public for planned events, for new emerging technologies, and even huge societal changes. So I'm asking you right now, we don't need to go into any specifics. Is predictive programming in all the various medias a thing and being used to guide or influence us anyway, or is it just a dumb theory? Is it bullshit? Yes or no? Real simple. Okay. All right. Yeah, man. Revelation of the method. I knew somebody was going to say it. All right. Here's what's the dude's name? Oh, Stephen Greer. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Dude looks like, I don't know. Dude looks like he fell off a 3-story building into some silly putty. I don't know, man. I don't give a damn about him getting mad at me. Everything about that dude offends me. Every time I listen to him talk, I'm like, oh, man, this is some bullshit here, dude. I know you just came out of Langley after a meeting at Langley and then got on a podcast and started talking all this nonsense. Doesn't even make sense, dude. Nobody in the world is ever going to be privy to so much top secret information that they can just so freely share to the public. And what gets me is not him. You're just a stooge, dude. You're making a really good living doing what you're doing, man. I'm not even hating on you. I get upset about the people who believe this shit because I don't need you in my community. I don't need you dumbasses for listening to me. I don't need you listening to him, believing all that bullshit, and then coming over here and popping up in my chat asking me a dumbass question. I ain't trying to hear it, man. No. Yeah, I got my block on full throttle. Zero tolerance for this dumb shit. So that has now Stephen Greer doesn't have anything to do with this. So we're talking about alien tech. We're talking about alien tech, cover-ups, reverse engineering, governments. Now I'm going to clarify something because it needs to be clarified. Just because you get triggered, like me, I don't believe in extraterrestrials and aliens. I'm 100% on board with simulation theory, which one of the chief pieces of evidence for simulation theory is the Fermi paradox. Also, you guys know I'm big on the dichotomy paradox. Yeah, these paradoxes actually show that we live in a construct. We are not in a real universe. This is something else. We're going to get into that too because we have some other stuff to divulge here. But when we're talking about alien tech, it doesn't have to be extraterrestrial. It can be a breakaway civilization in the underworld as well. A technologically advanced civilization that's always been here, but they know where the safest places are, which are underground. So, alien tech cover-up and reverse engineering, alien assists like Roswell, the whole Roswell deal could have been a breakaway civilization leaving their stuff out. And they didn't give a damn that the United States government wanted everybody to believe that shit came from UFOs, little green men, and the stars, when it actually came from an assist in the underworld. So, alien tech cover-up and reverse engineering. Is there an advanced civilization here that the governments are just catching up to that has recently revealed its presence? and is sharing its technology, which explains why we went from horse and buggy to Hadron Collider in less than 200 years. So, yes or no? Is something going on here? It's not all it's not all development. It was assisted. It doesn't matter if you believe in trans-dimensional assistance. The David Icke version, the reptilians, some of them are good and they're helping humanity out while the other ones are evil. Well, it doesn't matter. Have we been assisted from an outside source, and this is how our technology has rapidly advanced so much, or is it all bullshit? Is it all bullshit? Yes or no? Different answers. That's good. Reverse engineered, no alien here. Okay, reverse engineered would mean that the technology was already in our world. It didn't come from an outside source. It's of human provenance. I get that. All right. I honestly think it's knowledge from interdimensional beings. Okay, cool. That means technology would have been used to open up a portal to come into this construct from another construct. I get that. Interesting answers. No alien cover up, just rediscovered stuff. Okay, that again implies that the technology was already here. It pre-exists our present era. This would be like a very big. This is a very big idea in the Tartarian narrative. No all-terrestrial underground former civilization escaping a cataclysm. That's my model. Who is that? Jack Sutherland. All right, that's my model. That's the Archaics model right there. I'm going to have to agree with you. Okay, coolness. Let's move on. Let's move on. Oh, here's a good one. We're going to get into some of y'all haven't heard. Jet fuel hoax. So the jet fuel hoax. I'm not talking about 9/11 jet fuel. I'm talking about the fact that many commercial aircraft don't seem to have any room whatsoever for fuel tanks. And that we are told over and over and over that these jets are packed. And they say, oh, well, the fuel tanks are in the wings. Well, they are. The wings are connected by scaffolding on the inside and rivets. The plane has to be light. The fuselage has to be the heaviest part. The wings have to be light. But okay, I'm cool with that. But have you done the math? There are a lot of people on this. The reason people believe in a jet fuel hoax is because some of these commercial jets advertise that they hold 45,000 gallons of jet fuel. Do you have any idea how heavy that is? 45,000 gallons of liquid is 300,000 pounds. Are you telling me that to fuel up a jet in order to get from the Atlantic to the Pacific from travel on one side of the Atlantic to the other, you have to fill it up with 45,000 gallons of jet fuel, which weighs 150 tons. Now, the jet fuel hoax has long been put out there, and it covers up something else. It covers up the fact that industry and government hasn't been entirely truthful about exactly how a turbine engine works, or the turbine engines that are used for our commercial jets and our military aircraft. And that it only takes a very little bit of jet fuel to ignite the engine. Because once the fans begin sucking in that compressed air, it changes the temperature of that compressed air, which increases the velocity. And using very, very little jet fuel, the turbine itself uses air coming in as its fuel and then compresses it out the back. Turbine cools itself as it's compressing air that the temperature is forcibly changed to thrust out the back. So the jet fuel hoax is really interesting when you start realizing these planes can't hold all that, and that they're really masking over technology. and that airline tickets should be so much cheaper because they got you believing you're paying for all this fuel. Now, I'm just going to ask you right now, do you believe that there is a jet fuel hoax and that our turbine technology is far more sophisticated? Or do you believe that these jets are holding 150 tons of fuel in the wings? Let me know. Yes or no? I should have asked that better because I'm getting yes and no's. Do you think there's a jet fuel hoax or do you think it's all good? If you say no, then there's no conspiracy here. If you say yes, then yeah, shit's not adding up. Shit is not adding up. Yes means there's a conspiracy here. No means, oh man, there's nothing to this. There's nothing to this. Yeah, man. I ignored this conspiracy for a while, guys. I totally ignored it. I didn't want to look at it. It's like, man, I don't give a damn about this. I'm a chronologist. I'm a historian. I'm an author. I got other things to do with my time. And finally, man, one day I just fell into that rabbit hole. I was like, holy shit. I've been in so many planes. You're like, man, I never would have considered these things. Oh man. So crazy, man. All right, let's go to the next one. We still got several. We still got a lot more to go. All right, climate change as the elite hoax. Let me see something here. Climate change as elite hoax or engineered crisis. So, do the elites fabricate, or is there geoengineering climate issues? Do they just to impose carbon taxes, carbon restrictions, in order to tell governments what they can and can't do, what their populations can and can't do? Is climate change a hoax? Is it connected to like depopulation issues, global governments? Is climate change bullshit and actually serving other agendas, or is climate change real? I'm not talking about the real climate of the world, guys. I'm talking about the UN and WEF program for climate change. Are they exaggerating? Are they manipulating? Are they making up shit? And is climate change a tool for control, or is it all bullshit? It's all bullshit. Yes or no? Yes or no? Hoax, absolutely. Icy Non. Yes, scam to fleece taxpayer money, absolutely. Yeah, man. Because remember what they used to call it before it was ever called climate change. It was called global warming, but they had to abandon that for two reasons. One of them, that moron who ran for president. What's that moron's name? He's a moron too, politician. He started working for the United Nations, giving speeches all over the world about how bad global warming is. He even wrote a book about global warming, and no, he's not believable. Nobody believes him. He's too much of a polished politician, but he was a failure as a presidential candidate. Al Gore, thank you, man. Al Gore. Yeah, Al Gore. Even his name is terrible. You know what? You could stick Stephen Greer's Play-Doh face, you know what I mean, and give him the name Al Gore, and it would fit. Yeah, Stephen Greer's face looks like somebody named Al Gore. It would be perfect. It would be perfect. So, yeah, man, it is all a clown show, man. It's such a clown show, dude. But yeah, Al Gore was the one going around, and he wasn't believable. People. Yeah, I don't understand why our controllers select certain individuals, because the frequency they vibrate on repels those of us who are listening to them. Like, damn, man, why do you have this dude that looks like a rubberized Bart Simpson trying to convey shit to us, and you want us to believe it? Why do you have Why do you have this dude, Al Gore, who walks around like he's got a stick up his butt and talking about all kinds of concepts, and he's manipulated all his data, and it's so obvious. It's so terrible that they have to change global warming because all the scientists are bucking. Man, there's no global warming evidence, man. Shut up. Sea levels are not rising. People are showing 300-year pictures of Spanish fortresses that are still at sea level, exactly where they were. Come on, man. Stop. So finally they changed it. Oh, it's not global warming. Over a 4-year period, they made a transition to climate change. Now they can never be wrong. They can never be wrong now. Why? Because climate always changes. So dumb. It's all so dumb. Al Gore, thank you for that, man. He got paid millions and millions of dollars to push that bullshit. I wish somebody would pay me millions and millions of dollars just to clown people and call their bullshit out, because I do that already. Be sure it'd be nice to get paid for it. Yeah, I do that already. Anything out in the field I see that's dumb, I'm going to call it out. All right. So climate change. I think I already asked y'all. You already answered. Let me scroll back up. Climate change is a psyop, yes or no? Yes or no? Climate change is a psyop, yes or no? All right. Let's go to the next one. We got those underground bases. Yeah, man. Underground bases, or DUMBs. Deep underground military bases for elite survival. So, yes or no? Does an infrastructure of interconnected military and civilian scientific bases exist underneath the United States and other countries of the world? Is there a vast secret network of underground cities and tunnel networks, often connected to missing money, like Catherine Austin Fitz's missing trillions of dollars? So, also, underground facilities for the elite to survive engineered catastrophes or even extinction level events. Yes or no? Do these underground facilities, underground cities exist? Yes or no? My personal opinion, of course. Yes, I've already seen the evidence. I got whole videos on it showing the Air Force, those gigantic drill machine tractors. The whole entire tractor looks like a rocket. And it says U.S. Air Force on it, but it's actually a thermite drill that just melts through basement rock. Yeah, I've showed pictures of those. So again, we're not even halfway done when listing all these conspiracies, but then again, you have to wonder. They're not even keeping this from the public. They're not keeping any conspiracy that I have listed thus far, and the conspiracies I'm going to continue to list. There has been no effort to scrub the internet. There has been no effort whatsoever to remove all this from the field. Instead, all these personalities are all over social media talking about these things. Okay, here's one a lot of people don't know about. Denver International Airport as a New World Order or Illuminati hub, supposedly on top of a massive underground facility. What do you guys think? I heard a rumor that they had covered up the murals. I don't know. I haven't been there. But at one time, the terminals had these really detailed murals, artistic murals that showed all kinds of things. And a lot of people believed it was predictive programming, showing tunnels, showing like underground civilization, showing future scenarios, New World Order concepts. All these things were on the murals. I don't know if they're still there or not. I don't know. I heard a lot of people did not resonate with it. Was like, "Oh, what kind of artwork is that? It's terrible." I've seen pictures of them, but I haven't been there to see. So I'm just going to ask you now: Is it yes or no? Does the Denver International Airport seem to be a central hub for New World Order Illuminati activity? Whether you believe there's an underground facility there or not, is there something going on in that area that would bring so many people in New World Order Illuminati globalist circles into that airport? Yes or no? Hmm. How far is Cheyenne Mountain from that airport? I'm pretty sure they're connected underground. One hour. Okay. Thank you, Potter. Thank you, Joe. 1 hour. Well, 1 hour on a monorail or on like the hover rails that they're designing now. 1 hour of our driving time at like 70 miles an hour. Yeah, it'd be 5 minutes for them. Yeah, those things underground are going 200 to 400 miles an hour on those monorails. They're going fast. It wouldn't be shit, man. It would be nothing. They would get there in 10 minutes. Cheyenne Mountain to Denver Airport, 10 minutes. Interesting. All right, let's go to the next one. What about this conspiracy? What about this conspiracy? Agenda 21, United Nations 2030 edit. The elite's depopulation plan by 2030. What do you think about that? Yes or no? Is Agenda 21 something that is real? Is there a long-term plan for drastic population reduction, resource control, smart cities to create a sustainable like prison world, prison planet, however, whatever you want to call it? Yes or no? I did a recent video showing how the worldwide birth rate has plummeted, and that video does not cover at all pharmaceuticals. It doesn't cover contraceptives. It doesn't cover abortions. It doesn't cover murder rate, increasing murder rates. It does not any of that. That video only shows that males and females are not reproducing the way they have throughout history, and that the worldwide birth rate sustainable to where it's even growing is 2.6% birth rate, but we're at 1.6 right now and failing. It's not sustainable. 1.6 is not sustainable. So just from relationships and lack thereof, the human race is not repopulating. It's bad, because there will come a time when we're going to hit a tipping point when even if females started trying to come back and have a whole bunch of have a whole bunch of kids and all that, we've already passed the threshold to where, let's just assume we're 6 billion people here. I don't know if there is or not. I think the population is, I think it's a total lie of how many people are here. But let's assume there's 6 billion. At the current rate, it's already projected that we're going to be less than half by 2040. By 2050, there'll be less than half of that. So by 2050, there'll be 25% of the world's population compared to how many people are here today. That's not counting all the other contraceptives, murder, war, disease, vaccine injured, whatever. None of that. I'm just talking about the fact that males and females aren't getting together to reproduce like they have been in the past. So, Agenda 21, you've already answered it. Yes. Everybody's saying yes. Okay. So let's go to the next one. Some of these are kind of interrelated. The Great Reset, WEF, Elite Agenda, Klaus Schwab. You eat the bugs and you like it. Yeah, that's Klaus Schwab. Yeah, man. I mean, they have a great sense of humor. The elite do have a great sense of humor. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and give this guy on Fear Factor hundreds of millions of dollars, and we'll blow his podcast up. Well, why'd you choose him? Well, he's already getting popular. Plus, he made them eat the bugs. Yeah, man. He made him eat the bugs. Let's blow him up. Yeah, man. So, World Economic Forum, the WEF, Bill Gates, always throwing Bill Gates out there. Dude's not even a real doctor. And the only expertise in viruses he's ever had was computer viruses, but he's put out as the world's most foremost authority on medical viruses, and it's parody. It's comical. Yeah, man, it's Stephen Greer's face. I can't even explain it any other way. It's just so dumb. It's just so dumb. Yeah, man. Bill Gates, computer viruses. He becomes, yeah, man. It's like we're in an ass backwards, dark city, mad magazine type world. What the WTF? I get that. I get that. No virus was ever proven. Listen, I'm on board. I get that. That's not what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's just crazy. Just crazy, man. So, Great Reset. Is the Great Reset a thing? And is that what the world, yes or no? Is the World Economic Forum pushing for that? Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates, are they all in on this Great Reset? They're trying to reset society into a technocratic controlled system. You'll own nothing and be happy. Yeah, where cars are everywhere and they're just there for utility. Meaning you walk up to an empty car and you're able to put your thumbprint on it, iRetina scan. Oh, Jason Brashears, welcome. And I don't know whose car this is because it doesn't belong to anybody. I just get in it. It recognizes me, and however far I drive, it's debiting that money out of my account. I get to where I'm going. I get out of the car. Car's not mine, so I don't care where I leave it. This is the world that they're trying to build us toward. And for some, it sounds great. Yeah, for some people, they're going to love that world. Yeah. All right, so we got our yeses and nos out of that one. I'm going to enjoy later tonight when I'm bourbon scrolling on X. I will have this video playing and I'll be looking at the chat. You guys know I always review my chats, but I'll enjoy looking at the chat on this video tonight while I'm hate scrolling on X. Let's see. Oh, I got that Dr. Heather Lynn. I got her four books. Remember, I showed you two of her books. I got her other two books. I have all four of her books. I'm gonna go through them, and I don't have anything personal against her. I just got offended because I heard 3 archaic concepts all in the same paragraph that she discussed on Danny Jones' podcast, and yet her published books avoid these concepts. Her published books promote the Billy Carson, Zechariah Sitchin version bullshit of history. Yeah, man, the chronology. So to hear cargo cult and that the Anunnaki were humans and that the chronology was 5,000 years ago and not 200,000 years ago, like everybody else says, all 3 of those in that podcast, I was offended because archaics, what are you going to do? What are you doing listening to me, but you're not going to cite me? Because I'm the only researcher in the field that's put all 3 of that together that I know of in all my published books going back 20 years. So I'm kind of offended about that. So I called her out on it. And before I officially do a video and call her out on it, I got to make sure that these 4 books don't actually mention these things. Because it doesn't make sense to me why you're going to have books published. You're going to have books published that say one thing, but you're going to get on Danny Jones' podcast and say something totally different that mirrors precisely what I've been putting out, but I've been taking so much flack for all these years. Now, man, F that. I call that bullshit out. If that's what I find, I'm going to call it out. Call it out. Joe Gibberoo. I can't afford anything and I'm not happy. Man, I feel you, brother. I feel you, man. All right. So, Avis Mundi, Andrew White. I've never heard of Avis Mundi. Avis Mundi? Are you serious? Avis World? Yeah, I'm gonna. You must have meant to say Anis Mundi. Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm cool. I'm absolutely cool with people borrowing from the material, but you guys know it's my pet peeve. Yeah, when it comes to 1,350 source materials, I cite them all. I let you guys know I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. I tell you who all the original researchers are for every concept that I have borrowed in Archaics. Yeah, man, I give a chain of custody of where this information came from. Yeah. So people, there's a lot of YouTubers coming out, man. They're freely borrowing shit, and I've already caught a few of them on X hiding Archaics posts behind their paywalls. You know what? I'm not going to fight that fight. I really don't care, but it is offensive. It is offensive. How hard is it to say, damn, man, I listened to Archaic's presentation. He blew my wig back. And all this shit makes sense. So instead of just, you know, taking freely from, you know, my 1,200 presentations and my 12 published books, taking freely from them and never citing me as a source. You know what? F you. F you. I have no problem calling you out when you do that. All right. That little rant is over with. Great reset, man. So we already got that. Oh, we're gonna get into some juicy now. That's my old buddy Martin Leakey. He liked to say that. Pizzagate. Pizzagate. Man, this is some dark shit here, man. Pizzagate. The elite pedophile rings. High level elites. It doesn't matter if they're Democrats, it doesn't matter if they're Republicans, Hollywood, intelligence community, these people that are involved in running child sex trafficking networks, often linked to pizzerias or islands like Epstein. Covered up by the media. Listen, the general media, mainstream media goes to war against these accusations. Hell no, it's not true. It's all bullshit, and demonizes the individuals that pop up. But in social media, these people are promoted who talk about these things. Prod and pull. Yeah, it's prod and pull. It's push and tug. It's so weird. Why? It's like Graham Hancock. I use him as an example all the time because he's the perfect example. It's like Graham Hancock with a 3-year bachelor's. His education ain't shit. And yet, as soon as he comes out of college, he lands the most elite, prestigious editing jobs and journal for the most prestigious intelligence agency controlled magazines in the effing world. Then decides he wants to be an expert on human antiquities and ancient, comes up with these stupid ass theories that I'm always smashing. Yeah, Graham Hancock's perfect example. Why? Because while he tells you how suppressed he is, while he tells you how everybody is censoring him, while he tells you that it's dangerous for me to get this information, academia doesn't want you to know this information, while he's telling you these things, the most elite publishing houses and networks in the world are pushing him. So dumb that people fall for this shit. So dumb. Yeah, man. The Predator class. Thank you. Pizzagate. Yes or no? Was Pizzagate a thing? Was the ingredients on individual pizzas absolutely used as a communication cipher to convey what type of children these people were actually ordering? Is Pizzagate true? Yes or no? Look at this. I know a bunch of you guys have looked into all this. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm not stupid. I'm not dumb at all. I know that there's 1,849 people listening to my video right now, and by no stretch of the imagination am I an ignorant individual. There are members of intelligence apparatus in my chat right now, and they're looking too because it's their job. I'm not saying they're nefarious. I'm not saying they're going to knock on my door. I'm not going to say they're going to take me out. What I'm saying is it's their job to understand the temperament of the people. So this type of video here is going to be monitored. They're looking right now, say, damn, dude. Yeah, man, Jason of Archaics in Willis, Texas, man, he did a poll. And he went through all the conspiracies. And man, this is what the people are truly believing. This is a perfect video for intelligence agencies to actually brief their own communities and to run tests on and show, yeah, man, I'm not dumb. I know I'm watched. Hell, I've met intelligence operatives at almost every one of my meetups. I've told you guys that in the past. I've laughed side by side with them when I called them CIA. Yeah, man, listen, you can't walk through life in fear. You can't. You just can't do it. There's no way I'm going to be able to go to sleep at night and wake up in the morning if I'm not telling you guys the absolute effing truth, the way I see it. It may not be true, but it's the way I see the world. That's what the Archaics channel is about. I'm never going to tell you that the Archaics is promoting the truth, but Archaics is promoting the truth as I see it. Totally, there's a distinction here. All right. Anyway, Pizzagate, man, that's a dark one, but we're not done with the dark shit yet. Shit, I wish an intelligence agency would offer me millions of dollars and just say, hey, man, check this out. We don't want you to change a damn thing you're doing. All we want to do is make sure millions of people hear you. What do you mean? You're going to let me say anything I want to? So you say whatever you want. You can roast every single moron you see out there in the field. Shit, I'll sign that contract. Let me say unfiltered what the hell I want to say against whoever I want to say it. Yeah, I'm on board. I'm on board. But then again, that also kind of goes into a theory I have about what's really happening and why so many people are allowed to speak unfiltered. The energy exchange, what it's actually doing to the field by saying the truth, even though the collective doesn't believe it. So anyway, let me get over here. Epstein network as elite blackmail operation. What do you guys think here, man? What do you guys think about this? It's so many different theories about what's going on here with the Epstein shit. Yeah, man. What do you think? Epstein network has elite blackmail operation. Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking ring was an intelligence-backed honeypot. That's all it was. It was a massive honeypot. Instead of an individual female who's drop dead gorgeous sent to somebody to distract them, connect to them, like Kirk. Charlie Kirk got honeypotted. That girl, Erica Kirk, is a CIA honeypot. I'm not scared of saying it. That girl 100% hijacked him for his whole community and then portrayed herself to be so terrible that all the backing just fell out the back of TPUSA. And TPUSA is in the middle of being turned into something else right now. It was a perfect, to me, my opinion, it was a 100% executed Mossad operation. As soon as Charlie Kirk was about to tell the public that he was no longer going to back Israel about Gaza, it was over with for him. His own security detail were all Israelis. Took his ass out. Yeah. Yeah, man. Erica Kirk. Yeah, I've had people email me and people talk to me, say, hey, man, Jason, you don't understand. Charlie Kirk's still alive. And I don't want to hear all that, man. You know what? They took him out. So it doesn't matter. We don't need to entertain any distinction between was he removed from the surface and now living in paradise in an underground facility with a bunch of other people who are apparently offed, like Ann Hesh. You know what I mean? All the people who are going to give up all the child predator shit, man. Ann Hesh was taken out like that. Hell, they said later on they even let Ellen DeGeneres eat her. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's true or not, but this shit's out in the field. And people are openly discussing these things, but there aren't people coming forward trying to dismiss it. That's what I've been paying attention to. Yeah, man. So, yes or no? The Epstein Island Network, is this a 30, 40-year program? Yes or no? Where they invited all these famous people. They tried to get Joe Rogan there, but he said no. He didn't like the setup. They actually tried to get Joe Rogan on that island twice, and he didn't go. Oh, I was impressed about that too. But I was also impressed about his little back kick. Yeah, Joe Rogan, man. Back in the day, Joe Rogan's a tough little son of a bitch. But I just fed up with him, man, because he promotes all these shills. That Joe Rogan just promotes all these idiots. All the people that I've professionally called out, not one of them will come to the table and debate. Every single one of them have basically just folded over. Yeah, you may as well just bend over and let somebody beep. Yeah, bunch of cowards, bunch of morons in the field. And Joe Rogan's promoted them all. Yeah, so but his personal beliefs, that video really changed my opinion about Joe Rogan a lot. The video I saw where he was getting super frustrated with Alex Jones, because Alex Jones was lying, gaslighting, misdirecting, and acting totally obnoxious. And Joe Rogan was getting pissed. I love that video. If you're in the underground and you haven't seen that video, you need to go watch it. I posted it in Cypher and in the underground. Next one, Pizzagate. Pizzagate's the thing. Pizzagate is the thing, man. So let's go to the next one. This one's going to surprise a bunch of you. This one's going to surprise a bunch of you guys. Pay attention. In the year 2019, no other year in American history is like 2019 concerning the sudden and inexplicable dropout of CEOs for companies all over the world. 2019, suddenly, we're talking about the people that were running all these companies all over the world, especially in the United States. In 2019, there was a series of meetings among all the CEOs, prominent CEOs, Fortune 500 companies, and all the satellite and ancillary companies. And in 2019, more CEOs just quit their jobs than any other year in history. Just happened, 2019. Now, according to Challenger and Gray and Christmas, these are audits where they track CEOs and Fortune 500 companies, and they track U.S. CEO departures. They published, both of them independently, that 2019 saw a record of 1,640 CEOs quitting their jobs in 2019. So it is the highest since they ever even began tracking CEO departures. What else happened in 2019 concerning CEOs? This was suppressed. It came out, it shocked everybody in social media, then it was buried, and it only recently came back out again. But in 2019, at the exact same time that all these CEOs quit their jobs, we had can't remember her name. I cannot remember her name, but she was the CEO of Tinker Ventures. I cannot remember her name, but it's a famous case and anybody can Google it. But the woman worked for Tinker Ventures, and she was in California attending one of these meetings, these little seminars. She made a series of increasingly frantic telephone calls to her family from the convention, saying things like, "It's all a game. It's a thought experiment. We're in the damned matrix." And that night, she missed her flight. She missed her flight back home, and her body was found in her car in San Jose, California. Erin Valente. Thank you. Who was that? That's her name, Erin Valente. Thank you, Sergeant. Yeah, man. This all happened the same year, guys, 2019. In 2019, no other year in recorded history did 1,640 CEOs just up and quit their jobs. And one of those CEOs didn't have time to quit. She panicked. She called her family. The very first people she wanted to know anything was her family. And she said, it is all a game. It is a thought experiment. We are in the damned matrix. It's the last communication she did. The last communication she did, she missed her flight that night. The next day, she was found dead in a car in San Jose. Yeah, man. And you already know 2019 was right before 2020 COVID and 5G rollouts. You already know. So my question is right here. It's a fact that all these CEOs quit at the same time. It is a fact. It is a fact that this woman called home panicking and then was later found dead. So my question is this: do you think that all of these CEOs were literally briefed on the fact that we're not even living in a real reality? Yes or no? Do you think that these CEOs were all briefed about the nature of reality and what government actually thinks is coming on the way? They were briefed about the coming of COVID. They were briefed about the coming of the Ukraine war. They were briefed about all the knifings and all the European. They were briefed about the future and how it was going to unfold, because 2019 was the last normal year any of us experienced. Do you think, yes or no, that these CEOs were briefed by intelligence that everything is about to fucking change? Yes or no? Oh, I'm out of coffee. It's too early to be out of coffee. I'm far from done. All right. So who said that? What was that? 2019 World Military Games in Wuhan and outbreak fall. Yeah, that's right. Well, this happened in November. What I'm describing to you happened in November 2019. So you're saying 2019 World Military Games in Wuhan, and then because I believe it was November was the first Chinese outbreak of according to the media, of that virus, and it was December in China that it really took off. Yeah, man. All right, cool. All right. Let's go to the next one. Like I said, we're not done. Not done. Next one is COVID pandemic. Let me change that real quick. That shouldn't be like that. COVID pandemic. So I don't know if it's true or not. Some say COVID is certificate of vaccination ID. I don't know. An elite bioweapon or a hoax. So COVID is not the same as the vaccine. Remember, keep them separate. Keep them separate in your mind. The COVID pandemic wasn't planned. Is it total bullshit? Yes or no? A virus, engineered or released by elites, the labs. What's his name? The little troll-looking dude who allegedly is the son of Mother Teresa. What's the dude's name? If you were to put a beard on him in a big black pot, he'd look just like a leprechaun. What's the dude's name? Anthony Fauci. Thank you. Anthony Fauci. Yeah, man. So, Bill Gates, Big Pharma, China, Wuhan labs, Was COVID about depopulation, economic reset, mandatory lockdowns, mandatory vaccines, vaccine tracking, greater control? Yes or no? Was COVID, it doesn't matter if it was totally effective or not. Was it initially about all these things? Control, lockdowns, economic reset, enforcing mandatory vaccines, and all that. Yes or no? Was that what COVID was about? I've seen that too about Divok. COVID reversed as Divok in Hebrew. I've seen that too. Okay, cool. So let's go to the next one because it's the next one is connected. So vaccine microchipping, population control, vaccines pushed by elite-backed big pharma. Do you believe they contain microchips, sterilants, or DNA altering agents for tracking, depopulation, or mind control? Do you think the vaccine had other ingredients that had nothing to do with COVID? Yes or no? Was the vaccine program about something else and not curing an imaginary disease or imaginary infection? Yes or no? Yeah, man. So far, we're in agreement all the way down. All the way down the board. We're in agreement. All right, we can move on because this is at the same time too. 5G, EMF as elite weapons or control grid. 5G and electromagnetic tech are deployed by elites for surveillance, for mind control, health harm, and depopulation. Do you believe that is the true? Do you believe that's the true? That's what the 5G towers are truly about. Electromagnetic frequency weapons used to harm the population, mind control, stuff like that. Now, I'm going to say this right here. This is the one that I may disagree with a lot of you on. I believe that the 5G radiation is harmful, yes. But I think it has a different purpose. Harming people is a side effect because I'm still not convinced that this isn't a part of the same apparatus as the chemtrails, because the chemtrails releasing particulates that allow even small drones the size of insects to be mapped and watched as they go through our skies, see their points of origin, where they're coming from. Yeah. If there are sleeper cells from other countries in the United States and they're using drones and they can get those drones to the sleeper cell headquarters that might be like a farmstead or a ranch in the middle of Arizona or something, and then the US, and then the United States is at nighttime, when they turn on these 5G towers and they're map it out with these particulates in the air from the chemtrails, they can literally hone in on where these swarms of drones are leaving and where they're going, and they can map all this shit in real time. I'm just saying, dude, this is a scenario that was presented to me, and I have not had any way to counter that a lot of this was about surveillance because drones changed everything and radar can't see them. So I don't know. So, like I said, this is going to be one that I just can't say yes all the way to. I can't say yes all the way to. Now, I'm way out here in the country, guys. I'm in Willis, and I'm inside Sam Houston State Forest. And I'm going to tell you now, you can see these towers way out there. It's like, what? Why would you even have them? There's nobody living out there. Why would you have these towers way over there? So I don't know, guys. I used to only see the towers in population areas. I only see them up and down the interstate, but that's not the way it is anymore. They're putting these damn towers in the middle of nowhere. So I don't know, man. I don't know, guys. This is the one that still got me. It still has me. I don't know. I don't know if 5G towers were specifically put there to harm us in depopulation, or if they're like a smart meter. Because I believe a smart meter put me in the hospital. You guys remember I lost like 30 pounds. I couldn't move. They put me on a respirator. Then they put me on a vapor therm. It took me 13 days to get out of the hospital, and I was released in a wheelchair and a deal. And I found out later on why. Yeah, man, they put COVID on my paperwork, but it's not true. It's not true. The RV that I was sleeping in was up against a utility pole. And it was only after I got out the hospital that I realized that where I laid my head at night on one side of in the RV, it was just thin metal panel between me and the smart meter that was on the pole. The pole was right here. And for months, I would sleep right there next to a smart meter. And I ended up putting me in the hospital for radiation. So y'all remember that. Many of you have been following my channel for a long time. Yeah, man, a smart meter. I'd been sleeping with my head right next to a smart meter and didn't even know it for a long time. And I woke up 2 or 3 mornings in a row, unable to breathe. And finally on the third day, I almost passed out. And I took an ambulance ride to the ER. So anyway, man, long story short, I don't know, man. I just don't know if those 5G towers are meant as a military weapon to subdue the population, or if they are one of the most sophisticated surveillance apparatuses everywhere. Audio surveillance, visual surveillance, and a sophisticated sonar or radar type surveillance that interfaces with the particulates suspended in the air that communicate with each other when drones pass through them. And those particulates send out a signal. The tower conveys a signal to wherever, COC is. So I'm just saying, guys, there's still unknowns about this one. Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one. Transhumanism as an elite path to control or immortality. Do you believe that narrative? Do you believe that the transhumanism push is really about the elite trying to get like some type of modicum of immortality? The elites push AI, genetic engineering, brain-computer interfaces, cyborg technology to merge with or transcend humanity while dominating or replacing the masses. Do you think that's the official story, or could the story actually be once the world is depopulated of free-thinking individual souls, they will be replaced with like Cabbage Patch versions of clones. And the clones themselves will be easily controlled. Whole clone armies can be made. Clones with brain-computer interfaces can not only be controlled, but you have a slave force that will do anything you want because they don't even know they're slaves. This is the only life they've ever known. I mean, isn't there a narrative coming from the Talmud that the Jews want the entire world to be their slaves? Every single Jew will have 70 Goyim slaves. Isn't this the way they would do that? They haven't been able to control a free thinking because we're fighters. Yeah, we fight. You're not just going to take something from us. We're going to fight for it. And they're not having a lot of luck, taking over the world by force. So they've had to go by subterfuge. So, but what about 30 years from now, after a major depopulation, and if the Rothschilds then decide, oh, you know what, man, we can go ahead and fund these cloning facilities. These aren't data centers. They're actually going to turn out a whole new human race out of these facilities that are all brain-computer interface locked, some cerebral interface holography that allows them to act like bees. One command from a computer, and you have 200,000 individuals in this community over here, all of a sudden doing exactly what that command entails. So I'm just saying, guys, it's black cube Luciferians. I don't know. Transhumanism, is it a real thing? No matter what for? Yes or no? Is there a transhumanist agenda, or is it smoke screening something else? I don't know. Yes or no? I don't know. I don't know enough about it to be opinionated, really. I do know there's a lot of people in social media talking about transhumanism. Gigi Young, she kind of focuses on transhumanism every once in a while. Yeah, I can't listen to Gigi Young, but maybe I'll get 3 or 4 sentences in, and then I'll zone out. I can't listen to her. It's not that she's not intelligent. It's not that she doesn't know shit. She's just too damn pretty. You know what? I'm gone. My mind just wanders. Next one. That's transhumanism. Okay. We might have some pushback here. We might have some pushback on this one. QAnon. So some of these people get offended. I don't know shit about the Q drops. I really don't. To me, I am intellectually offended that anybody would assume that I would ever believe that an intelligence apparatus is ever going to give drops to the public, thinking that there's people in the public that are so smart, they're going to be able to interpret these drops. But the members of other antagonistic intelligence agencies are not going to be able to put these things together. It is so inane. It's the whole Q narrative so dumb to me. Yeah, there's a benefactor out there who's releasing these drops. So dumb. Yeah, it's such a Bolshevik idea. Anyway, let's see. Oh, and then the Anons get pissed. Apparently Anons is a group independent of those who the Q deal is just drops, and then the Anons, are American patriots or something, and some of them go by the drops and pay attention to it, and some of them don't. I don't know, and I don't even care because it's all X-22 bullshit to me. Every bit of it, the whole X-22 narrative is so dumb. Yeah, I remember when I first started my channel, I was roasting these guys. Well, when I first started my channel, I was asking you guys what y'all thought of Charlie Ward, X-22. Within a year, I was roasting them all. What was it? Charlie Ward, that other guy who used to be with Charlie Ward all the time. He ended up being some weird cultist shit. All the Galactic Federation idiots. Yeah, man, I can't remember. All these decoders and yeah, man. I ain't trying to hear all that shit. I forgot. Charlie Ward and Simon Parks. That's his name. And then Mel K. So Mel K was the biggest FU in me. Here's all these patriots in X-22, and everybody's putting all this shit out in 2020, 2021, 2022, and I was roasting them. And Mel K was one of them I focused on too. So we got Mel K is in the mix, and they're all interviewing her, and they're listening to her all. And you got to judge things by their effects. And when you listen to Mel K, you're listening to somebody who will never call out Jewish people. So you do a little homework on Mel K, and you find out she's Jewish. Like, oh, okay, go figure. So it just got so it got so comical, that whole stupid narrative. And then you got other morons like, what's the dude's name, Bo Polnoy or whatever. Yeah, listen, man. Yeah, we don't need NASDAQ anymore because it's all rigged. It's all stupid. What we need is a moron index. We need to be able to log on social media. You need to be able to click on Jason of Archaics. You click on Jason. I don't give a damn. My whole past is known. My whole life is known. I don't care. You need to be able to go on social media. And anytime you hear anybody, you need to go on and say, you know what, man, today I think I'm gonna go check out the moron index. Because on the moron index, it's gonna let me know what's going on and what's not. And I'll put Jason of Archaics on the moron index to see what comes out. You need to be able to do that. Bold Polnoy. Here's the moron index. Boop. Here's all the stupid shit the dude ever said. Bam. Oh, okay. Yeah. You rated pretty high on the moron index. We need one. We need a badass moron index that is impartial. Anybody that appears in the field. Yeah, you need Stephen Greer on there. Yeah, man. Apex moron. There it is right there. So dumb. But that's the state of things. That's where we're at right now. It is just so comical. All the bullshit that's out in the field that people fall for. And as long as there's people who will fall for this bullshit, you're going to have morons pop up pushing it every single time. Yeah, man. I don't even know who thought of that. It's just so dumb. Whose idea was it? Hey, man, I got a good idea. People who believe in space aliens, Galactic Federation, UFOs. Listen, man, all we got to do, man, is take this silly putty and put it on your face. Stick it to your face. Let me get that right there. Oh, okay, look, put this Bart Simpson mouth right here. Dude, you're going to be believable. And then call up your homeboys, man, and get him on the lecture circuit. Yeah, man. And then there, Stephen Greer pops up talking about all these covert secrets that he's been told. Yeah, why aren't you in Leavenworth? I don't get it. How the hell did you get to know all these things and tell the public, and you haven't had that knock on your door? No, man, I'm trying to hear that, man. I need that silly putty. That's some bullshit. Total, absolute bullshit. And people just suck that shit up. QAnon, the satanic global cabal. Yeah, man. Y'all remember when I was roasting those guys years ago, talking about, oh man, Trump's got the U.S. military, Space Force, and the military are in the underground. They are blowing up these underground dumps, and they're rescuing hundreds of thousands of children that these satanic pedophile elites have hidden down there. And there's a war underneath us and all that. I said, man, no, they're not. Those detonations that are heard across the United States from deep underground are not dumbs being blown up to save children. No, they're clearing real estate out in the underworld to build more facilities. It's so dumb. The whole thing was so stupid. How did my glasses fall? Oh, they fogged up because I was putting Stephen Greer's Play-Doh on my face. Smudge my glasses. There we go. Yeah, man, it's so dumb. We do need a moron index. There needs to be a big old moron index, man, so you can look people up. I don't mind them putting me on it as long as it was impartial and it actually gave you the facts. I don't mind being rated in with the morons as long as I'm in the category I belong in. Yeah, man. Not just people who get interviewed, but even the podcasters need to be on the moron index. Yeah, man. So dumb. Yeah, politicians, Hollywood, they're running child sex trafficking deals and the satanic. Yeah, listen, guys, I can't bite my tongue like that, man. I'm not trying to hear that shit. Satanic is so anti-Christian. Yeah, man, screw all that, man. Call it what it is. I haven't seen anything but Jews coming up out of tunnels, in implicated in all this bullshit. Last time I checked, Epstein was a Jewish name, right? Yeah, man. You gaslight me. Talk about Satanists doing this, Satanists doing that, man. Shut up. Try to hear that. It's like the whole Satan's little season narrative. That gets under my skin too. It's hard to argue against a negative. Why is it a negative? Because before you could ever convey to me the Satan's little season narrative, you first have to prove the existence of Jesus. Yeah, you have a huge hurdle to cross for me to take your theory seriously at all. Because it begins with a fallacy. If the entire gospel Jesus story was literary, as I showed 2 videos ago, then Satan's little season is a total bullshit ass theory. There's no way it would ever take off. Yeah, it's just dumb. It's just dumb. They keep amending their theories anyway. One of their theories was, no, 1776 is when everything changed, man. 1776 is when Satan was released from his deal. I said, what? So I pulled out books from that shelf right there. I pulled books from that shelf right here on YouTube and showed you, oh, look, I got a book from 1707 right here, 1709, here's 1714. Look, this is about the colonial life in the 13 colonies, 1725. Yeah, look at this right here, 1740s, 1750s. I got books from the 1700s, and there's nothing about anything in Satan's little. It's just the colonial history. It's what was going on in England, and news comes from France and what the people in the 13 colonies were doing. None of this shit about. Yeah, they say all the books were falsified before 1776. So the burden of proof is on you because I have all these books from the 1700s. There was no change anywhere. It's just so dumb. All right. All right, let's see. QAnon. Oh, here we go with the Austin Fitts material now. Let's check this out. Missing trillions of dollars, black budget elite funding. So, trillions in U.S. government funds, of apparently $21 trillion. This is the number that is cited by Catherine Austin Fitts. Now, also economist Mark Skidmore. It says this 21 trillion is siphoned by the elites, military intelligence for secret programs, advanced tech, and underground infrastructure, ties to HUD, the Department of Defense, accounting irregularities. I mean, okay, all that sounds really good, but how much of that 21 trillion actually went to Jews? Call it like I see it. You know, man, if the entire history of the last 300 years was all these organizations, entities, families, and individuals who are coincidentally Jewish, siphoning the economies all over the world, why all of a sudden is $21 trillion by Catherine Austin Fitts not attributed to where it actually went? Why is it all of a sudden all these black ops, all the DOD, the HUD? Why are we told it's military industrial complex, it's secret programs, everything that we cannot prove? Why? When every other scheme that we've been privy to in the past 100 years has been going to these people. Why? I don't get it. Why the misdirection? Call a spade a spade. So that's my problem. She's a whistleblower and she's telling the truth. 21 trillion is missing. But again, is there a guiding of the narrative here to obfuscate where the money actually went? Just a question. So I'm just going to ask you right now. I don't care where the money went. I've already told you these people are genius at what they do. They run the entire effing world. I'm not here to stop that. I'm not. As long as they let me run my mouth, shoot, they do what the hell they want to do. I can't stop them anyway. All I'm asking you, yes or no, do you believe 21 trillion came up missing out of the American economy? Doesn't matter where it went. Because just acknowledging that much money, on top of all the money that came up missing through the Federal Reserve, on top of all the money that is siphoned away in state, municipal, and in federal tax monies, on top of all the money in bad business deals, on top of all the money from all the insider trading that has vanished in the stock markets, people investing, on top of all the money that is siphoned away from the U.S. economy, do you believe that 21 trillion more cited by Catherine Austin Fitts also came up missing? It doesn't matter where it went. Yes or no? I believe so. I believe she's right. I believe she's right. Oh, yes and more. Some people say yes and more. Okay. Shit. I wouldn't even know what to do with 21 trillion. I wouldn't even know what to do with 1 trillion. Truth be told, I probably wouldn't know what to do with a million because it's not my lifestyle. It's just not my lifestyle. Now, if somebody offered me a million, would I take it? Yeah, I would, especially a million after taxes, but it's just not my lifestyle. I'm a very simple guy. I have a very simple daily routine. Let's see. Okay, cool. 411 cases in national parks. 411 cases, national parks. So for those of you who don't know about the 411 cases, I can't remember the guy's name, but it wouldn't offend me if somebody put his name in the chat because he deserves to be acknowledged. But the main 411 researcher concerning people coming up missing in national parks, he's been on interviews. He's got a really huge audience. I can't remember his name. Yeah, it is David Paulides. That's it. Paulides, I believe. That's him. He has documented very extensively, without drawing too many conclusions, that people vanish suddenly, sometimes in clear weather or near the trails and forests in national parks. There are no tracks. There's no blood, no signs of a struggle. Search dogs often fail to even pick up the scents. Bodies, when they are found, appear in improbable locations, sometimes miles away in rugged terrain, or bodies are found in previously searched areas, sometimes with very odd conditions, such as a hiker comes up missing, is found several miles away, and some of the hiker's clothing is removed and it's not found anywhere. Sometimes they have one shoe on and one shoe off. This is the same scenario in the alien abduction phenomenon since 1962 with Barney and Benny and Barney Hills. I can't now. It's Barney Hill, something Benny or Barney Hill cases in 1962. But yeah, man, it's just weird. But do you believe that there is a unusual phenomenon of people in national parks coming up missing, as reported by this guy? It's called the 411 case. It's real simple. Yes or no? Are people vanishing in national parks? It's real simple. Yes or no? The Grays needed shoes. Stop it, man. Yeah, Betty and Barney Hill. That's right, 1962. Okay, moving on to the next one. Malaysian Airlines flight MH370. In 2014, it vanished. You already know Ashton Forbes got real popular talking about it was teleported, vanished through a portal created by advanced classified U.S. military technology involving glowing plasma orbs. Now, my problem is that leaked videos it's the same thing. It's Stephen Greer all over again. Okay, if the U.S. military had an elite program where they could disappear civilian craft using a technology that looks to us like orbs, then what in the hell do you think they would even allow Ashton Forbes to show those videos over and over and over on X and become a phenomenon and even come onto the Archaics channel and talk to me? Ashton Forbes was a guest on my channel, and we talked about all this. And I had a disagreement with him. I agreed to the fact that it's a real phenomenon, but I remember I told Ashton, I said, well, Ashton, this is really compelling and all that, but my only issue is that I have already showed my community that these exact same orbs are also involved in the human abduction phenomenon. They have been seen inside the funnels of tornadoes. They have been seen inside the hurricanes. The glowing orbs have been documented inside tsunamis, the great wave about to hit the shore. These orbs have been seen as Foo Fighters dancing among aircraft when men were killing each other in the skies. The orbs have been seen inside the cones of volcanoes right before the volcanoes blew up. The orbs have been seen over the ground in earthquake activity. These orbs have been documented in really severe electromagnetic thunderstorms. So the orbs have also been filmed making crop circles. So Ashton Forbes really didn't want to hear all that. But still, that's my problem. It's the Stephen Greer problem. Yeah. Who decided Ashton Forbes could show elite, hidden, I'm talking about ultra top secret military technology and videos and show them to the public and get famous for doing it? No, I'm not buying it. As I've shown, the orbs are prominent in the Bermuda Triangle phenomenon, the disappearance of ships and planes. Yeah, MH370 was not the only plane that those orbs in a triangular formation have been seen going around. Listen, I think my personal opinion is that they let Ashton Forbes take off with that military weapon idea only because it covers the truth. From the inception of my channel, I've told you we're in a construct. And I told you that humans are on the outside of the construct and that they can employ technologies that manipulate events inside the construct. They can even remove men and materials from the construct. That's been my model from the beginning. And I use the historical record to promote that model. So my idea is that people like Stephen Greer are used to perpetuate falsehoods of extraterrestrial and alien technology in order so that the collective can buy into that model when what's actually happening is technologically advanced humans on the outside of the construct are conducting things that for people inside the construct can't process unless they're given an explanation, like ETs and extraterrestrials. This is why Ashton Forbes is allowed to push a narrative about elite United States technology when actually what was done outside of the purview of the military. Outside the construct, there was a reason why they pulled that plane out. I'm just telling you guys, this is my idea, this is my theory. But aside from all that, do you believe yes or no, did Malaysian Airlines flight MH370 get teleported somewhere? Or did it crash into the ocean? Yes or no? Did it get teleported or not? Simple as that. Doesn't matter if you believe it went outside the construct, it got teleported into a military facility. Doesn't matter where it went. All I'm asking, yes or no, was Malaysian Airlines flight MH370 teleported somewhere? We've all seen the footage. If you haven't, I got videos on it. I've heard that theory about the pilot killing them all, but that's because somebody after the fact put out all kinds of personal communications from that pilot. I mean, it's really easy to build a narrative after the fact. If the pilot truly killed them, why couldn't they find the wreckage? Should have been easy. Close, no mystery here. The pilot killed them all, no mystery here whatsoever. Here's all the flotsam and jetsam. When an aircraft crashes, it's almost impossible to hide that much debris. Yeah. Especially the oil slick. The oil slicks go on for miles. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, let's go to the next one. Alternative energy hoax. Let me explain. So, I've traveled extensively all over the United States now in the past 10 years since I've been out of prison. And one thing that you can't help but see are all the wind turbine farms, all the solar panel farms everywhere. And now all over America, we got electric vehicles. So this is pushed extensively on the people as being the savior of the environment. Energy conservation, but the opposite is true. The opposite is true. If you haven't researched how much expensive components, engineering, how much money it costs to build a single wind turbine, and these farms have hundreds, sometimes thousands of them, and there's hundreds of these farms all over the United States, and they're steadily building them. And more than 50% of the turbines aren't even working anymore. How expensive it is to even maintain the wind turbine farm infrastructure far exceeds the amount of money that you're saving using wind turbines. It is so dumb. The only people making money from wind farms and solar farms are not the taxpayers. They foot the bill. The only people making money are those who receive the government contracts to build them. Taxpayers are stuck with a continued financial drain of these failing systems. And every time there's a badass storm or there's a hailstorm, the solar panel farms are offline. And anyone can travel across the United States like I have in my van and see every time you pass these wind farms, you will see 30 to 50% of all the towers offline. They just quit working. Too many moving parts. They don't work, and way too expensive. So yeah, it's so dumb, guys. The whole. So yes or no? Is the alternative energy hoax real, and all this is just bullshit? Wind turbines don't save the environment, or conservation of energy. Solar does not conserve energy, and electric vehicles are not conserving the energy. It's everything still requires gas. You can't even make an electric car without an extensive oil and gas operating facility. Yeah, all these facilities that have all these tools and all these things to put together all the machine parts and everything to build electric cars require oil and gas. It's so dumb. So dumb. So yes. So dumb. We need to put alternative energies on the moron index. It's just so dumb. All right, go to the next one. This one's going to trigger some people. This is going to trigger some people. That's okay. The flat earth cover up. So the United Nations logo, flag on the United Nations floor, every single branch of the U.S. military in their sigils and in their flags does not show the globe model of our world. The distribution of continents on all the military and government flags and all that are of the flat earth model. Now you can take from that whatever you want. You can call it, well, it's just a projection. You can do whatever. All that's fine. But is NASA and elite institutions, are they lying about our world? I'm not going straight to the globe. I'm not going straight to flat earth. All I'm asking is, could our world and our experience be something totally different than what we've been taught it is? Yes or no? Could because flat earth doesn't just talk about a flat plane and a globe earth. Flat earth is about digging into the mechanics of our reality. And have we been lied to? Have we been lied to? Some flat earth models actually say extraterrestrial means outside the terrasphere, meaning there's other continents beyond a certain perimeter and that we're not told about them. I don't know. I'm just asking. The whole flat earth deal, is it a cover up? Yes or no? Is there more to the story about our world than we're actually told? I'm a simulationist, so I'm always going to say yes. I'm a simulator. I agree with that woman. I agree with that CEO who quit in 2019 and then died in her car for whatever reason after she phoned home and says it's all a thought experiment. We're in the damned matrix. Yeah, that's I believe what she said. Oh, somebody mentioned Dyson shell. Don't trigger me. I'll go off and start talking about Dyson shell mechanics because that model works. That model works, man. All right, let's move on. Operation High Jump. For those of you who don't know, Operation High Jump, 1946 to 1947. This isn't theoretical. This is an official, you can easily verify it. This is an official U.S. Navy Antarctic developments program. This was 1946 to 1947. It was a real large-scale expedition led by Admiral Richard E. Byrd. It involved 4,700 U.S. servicemen, 13 ships, and a dozen aircraft. Operation High Jump, a lot of misinformation was put out there because the United States people needed an explanation as to why we were sending this flotilla way out there to the Antarctic. One single scientific ship is all that's ever been necessary to go research anything. We have a bunch of U.S. scientific ships, but they sent a fleet out there. So the cover story was that there's a Nazi base in Antarctica that they needed to go take care of. But that's just cover story. Because in Operation High Jump, later whistleblowers said that they came across an impenetrable field in Antarctica and they couldn't pass it. They couldn't pass it on ground. Aircraft couldn't pass it. They also did measurements in Antarctica as to where the field was, and they realized, holy shit, it's not a wall, it's a dome. Because because where they hit the field in one area, they could measure higher and higher up, and the field came in. So they realized, holy shit, it's really easy. All you'd have to do was measure declination, and declination would tell you basically how far across this dome was. So Operation High Jump, there's no contesting. Anybody can verify that this operation really did take place. Their cover story that's what I'm asking about. Do you think the cover story about going to get an Antarctic Nazi base is bullshit and that they had a different motive? It doesn't matter if you believe that Operation High Jump was about discovering a impenetrable barrier. I'm not even asking about that. I'm asking yes or no. Was Operation High Jump a U.S. military scientific operation to go discover something about our world, and that the Nazi story was total bullshit? Yes or no? Yeah, man. This is awesome. Hell yeah. Shit, the chat from this video is going to end up in all kinds of intelligence databases. Oh, it's funny. You say, damn, man, we didn't have to spend $3.5 million, man, on trying to get a working hypothesis we'll see what the public believes. We just got it all from an Archaics video. That's funny. All right. So let's go to the next one. Operation Fishbowl. To me, Operation Fishbowl is really interesting because the Anuna-Nur calendar based off 600-year periods. Those 600-year periods are, 600-year periods are 216,000 days each. So, you guys know the Nur was it's the origin of the ancient Vedic Yuga. There's a lot of misconceptions from after different systemic resets would happen. People were trying to put the history of the world back together, and they ended up mistaking days for years and created these huge, epic long Yuga systems that are impractical and have nothing to do with history. Well, 1962 ends that system. The final 600-year period from 5239 BC all the way to the Great Flood was 3,000 years. It was 5 600-year periods to 2239 BC. And that was 2239 BC. And then from 2239 BC, it's 600 years all the way to the future to the year 1962. And the Anuna were all about inhabiting this construct, starting the human race. And here in 1962, the final Sumerian Nur period, the U.S. military in Operation Fishbowl, it was an absolutely real, again, you can verify it all on the internet. Operation Fishbowl 1962 was a U.S. military program of high-altitude nuclear tests conducted in the Pacific as part of Operation Dominique, however you say it, during the Cold War. So it involved launching nuclear warheads on rockets called Thor missiles to altitudes of 30. They did them at varying altitudes. They started at 30 miles, went up to 50 miles, they went up to 100 miles, they went up to 200 miles, and they went up to 250 miles before they found a barrier. Now, officially, it was to study the effects on the upper atmosphere, communications, radar, and radiation belts. So the most famous of the detonations was at 250 miles. It was called Starfish Prime, 1.4 megaton detonation. Whistleblowers said that it was so high when it blew up, it was an instant mushroom effect. Why? What did it hit up against for the entire blast radius to fold back down as a mushroom? So, my question is this: yes or no? Was Operation Fishbowl shooting nuclear weapons at various altitudes? Was it really what the official version said to for radar communications and to discover more about radiation belts? Or yes, was it for? I need to ask that differently because that's a trick question now. Okay, Operation Fishbowl, yes or no? Was the U.S. military actually trying to find a dome? And when I say dome, I'm talking about a level of the atmosphere which is impenetrable. Were they actually trying to find the height of the dome? Because Operation Fishbowl was after Operation High Jump. They already found a perimeter. Was Operation Fishbowl now a U.S. military attempt to find the glass ceiling? All right. We still got about 7 more conspiracies here. Let's go to the next one. Simulation theory, the Matrix reality. So, our perceived reality, is our perceived reality actually like a computer simulation or a virtual construct? It doesn't matter if you think it's run by advanced beings. It doesn't matter if you think the Great White Brotherhood runs this show. It doesn't matter if you think aliens are harvesting us for loosh, like the Matrix versions of the Lebowski brothers. It doesn't matter. I'm not asking that. I'm asking, do you believe that we live in a mathematical construct, a simulated reality, similar to the Matrix? Yes or no? It's a real simple question. This is something that's been popularized by 2 things. Three, Philip K. Dick, the movie The Matrix, and by Nick Bostrom. So, yeah, look at that. Yeah, man. That's an overwhelming amount of yeses. I've only seen 1 no. Wow. Wow. All right, so that bleeds straight into the second one. No, well, I'm going to go back to this first. First of all, if you're new to my channel and you don't know this already, Archaics, I only made one promise to my community from the beginning. I now have 1,200 and something videos. I'm doing pretty good. 16 million watch hours. I have more watch hours than most YouTube channels with over 1 million subs have. And that's because I have long form content. And my long form content is watched over and over and over. So the subject matter of this channel was chronology. But the promise I made to my community years ago, 6.5 years ago, was that unlike theoretical physicists and mathematicians and Nick Bostrom style research and Michael Talbot, the holographic universe, unlike everybody else who is trying to show that we live in a simulation, in Archaics, I was going to show that through the historical record that we live in a mathematically precise construct. Ergo, we're living in a simulation. That's the only promise I ever made. And most of my community believes I've already far exceeded proving that point. And I'm not done. I'm just not done. But the events of history are so mathematically precise that my only conclusion is that we live in some type of mathematical construct. And it has predictive value. So that's if you're new to my channel, you just need to understand. Well, that's what Archaics is about. Archaics is an acronym. Advanced Research of Chronological History of Artificial Intelligence X. So that's just neither here nor there. Mandela effect, reality or timeline manipulation. So, yes or no? Yes or no? Do you believe the Mandela effect is a real thing and that there are edits to our reality in real time? Things are being changed at a very, very small level so that the change is noticeable, but it doesn't affect anything in the overall construct. Now, remember, we have videos talking about this. I think it's a benefactor protocol. Somebody on the outside is changing things, trying to get us to wake up. Wake up. A real world would never have these manipulations. You need to wake up. Only by a collective awakening, only by everybody waking up will the whole holography collapse and you can come home. So anyway, Mandela effect, yes or no? Is Mandela effect a real phenomenon? Look at that. I've got a few Mandela effect videos that are pretty good. I'm not an expert on it, but I do have some good videos on it. Next one. Dead internet theory. Dead internet theory. Much of the modern internet is known to be bots. Remember, I told you earlier in this presentation, I don't believe that the human population is near what we've been told. I just don't. The internet has created a false reality. Inside this pseudo reality, we have been made to believe things that are patently untrue, like Plato face, all that BS. So I'm just telling you that in dead internet theory, much of the activity that we assume are other humans are actually very sophisticated AI bots. And troll activity. You've already seen. I've shown examples on my channel. Like every night, I lose subs on my channel. Every night, I know they're throttling my channel, and it's because I haven't signed any contracts. It's because I haven't. Uh, uh, I have no filters, and I just call things as I see them. So they don't really like this shit. So they're just at this point they're not gonna let me have the millions of subs and all that. But throttling the channel is very real. Max Egan showed me how they did it. I couldn't believe it, but he showed me, man. I said, wow, man. You can literally see when they take your subs off and then turn around and add some, but it's not as much as it was before. And then later on, the ticker goes up slowly. And when you get so many subs, bam, they do a reboot and it shoves you all the way back down. I was like, wow, I'm watching this in real time. So Max Egan showed me how to see that on YouTube and on BitChute. And it's a real thing. I now notice it now. It's a huge thing. And the reason I noticed it is because I have another YouTube channel. And I took all my videos off that channel a year ago because I want to do something else with the channel. I've been so busy, I haven't done anything. Guess what? I haven't lost any subs. All the original subs are still on that channel. Go figure. I lose subs on this channel every day. And then at nighttime, my subs start building up again. But on my other channel that I haven't had a single video on in over a year, I still have my 5,900 and something subs. They're still there. Imagine that. Yeah, he tripped me out when he showed me that. I was like, wow, man, they do throttle channels. You can also see the throttling when like someone like Billy Carson does a live video and he has 400 people in a live chat, but he's got 1.2 million subs or something like that. You know what I mean? And then Jason of Archaics, I got 189,000 subs. I'm nowhere near a million. I'm nowhere near 500,000. And yet when I do a live video, I have almost 2,000, sometimes almost 3,000 people in chat, depending upon what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's when you see the real sub counts. Like, oh, okay, they've been throttling this bullshit. That's dead internet theory. That much of what goes on in social media is all AI generated, manipulation controlled by governments and the elite to shape public perception and reality. Do you believe that dead internet theory is a real thing and that the majority of what's happening on the internet with all websites, all social media engines, all media on the internet is actually a bunch of AI controlled bots trying to get you to believe in certain narratives? Yes or no? Dead internet theory. Wow. Overwhelming. Wow. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Crisis actors in staged or fake events. All the world's a stage. We're all Shakespearean to a degree. So I tell you guys all the time in different presentations, man, we're all, you know what? The world's a circus and we all take turns being a clown. So real world events are faked using crisis actors. So this was popularized after 2012 Sandy Hook elementary school shooting. You know, Alex Jones, he took a lot. Alex Jones of InfoWars, he took a whole lot of heat for exposing the Sandy Hook deal. But did he? First of all, Alex Jones is sold hook, line, and sinker. We've already seen the video clip with him and Joe Rogan when Joe Rogan was telling the truth and Alex Jones was obfuscating. So, but it doesn't mean that Alex Jones is wrong. No. Just because he got sued by the family doesn't mean he was wrong. It means the government came in and fixed the problem. Because the 2012 Sandy Hook elementary school shooting, he provided all the data to show that this was a psyop with crisis actors. But because this was preliminary to a whole bunch of future psyops with crisis actors that were on the table that were going to unfold after 2012, they had to fight that one. And they had to go up against Alex Jones and sue him and do all that kind of shit. Does not mean at all that Sandy Hook was real shooting at all. As a matter of fact, the evidence to me looks like even more that Alex Jones was correct and it was all a psyop by how the government responded to his allegations of psyop, which again may have been a learning experience for the elite. Because it was the Sandy Hook deal, their arguing against Alex Jones drew more attention to it and sucked a lot more people into that psyop. Somebody said AJ was never sued. I don't know if he was or not. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, it's the whole. So I'm not trying to draw attention to Sandy Hook. The Boston Marathon bombing, the Parkland shooting. There's been so many of them. I mean, some people say that even that black dude that had his foot on his neck was all psyop. I don't know. I don't even care. My question is this: Are many world events actually staged by crisis actors? Yes or no? It's real simple. Yes or no? Are many world broadcasted events actually staged using crisis actors? Yes or no? Where are we at today? Yeah, man. I got one of course in there with a bunch of yeses. All right, let's go to the next one. Ukraine war. These are all conspiracies and psyops. Ukraine war. So, some of you are surprised to see the Ukraine war on here. But, I mean, wouldn't it be a huge psyop or conspiracy? Because a whole bunch of resources have been used. People from different countries, militaries have exhausted themselves over there. But isn't it just some bullshit? Where Zionist-controlled government of Zelensky, at the original homeland of the Ashkenazi Jews, prepares the country for a mass Jewish migration to Ukraine. And to better easily perform this, Zelensky and the other Zionists of the Ukraine government eliminate patriotic resistance. How? By having the true Ukrainian men of Russian descent fight in a forever war and just steadily get die out as more and more people from Israel migrate into Ukraine. It's population replacement under the guise of a faux war, a forever war. Yeah, man. And I mean, Putin's playing his part. He's playing his part, helping the Zionists from his side perpetuate the war. Yeah, man. So I'm just going to ask you now, do you think that you have been told the truth about the Ukraine war? Is it really a war, or is it population replacement? Let me ask you. Let me ask it differently. Is the Ukraine war about population replacement, or is it a genuine war between Ukraine and Russia? Yes or no? Is it about population replacement, or is it a genuine war between Ukraine and Russia? It's a better way to ask it. Nobody even thinks about it anymore. It's become the forever war. Nobody even thinks about it. All right, let's go to the next one. 2026, the Israel-Iran war. This is the last one on the list. 2026, Israel-Iran war. Do you think that this is a real war that we just engaged in? All that hyperbole, all that hype, U.S. military sending this fleet, all this, all Air Force going over there, people talking about the draft. We got this Asian guy who I criticized, who I called out on my channel. Was it Professor Zhang, who everybody's pushing? A nobody pops up out of the field, and he's being interviewed by everybody, and he's predicting this is how World War III unfolds. He's going off making all these predictions, and I'm calling bullshit. Some dude's full of shit. Yeah, I'm not trying to hear about all this game theory, all this bullshit. Yeah, whatever happened to that dude? Is he still? I totally ignore him. So is he still around? Because he said back in January and in February on multiple podcasts that this in 2026 is World War III. It has begun. All I ever saw in what I called out on my channel, and you can go watch those videos. I told you guys, this ain't no World War III. This is Israel and Iran, who are actually allies and have been for a very long time. And Iran and Israel lodging missiles at each other, and the Israeli missiles don't do shit. But the Iranian missiles hit all the areas in Israel that Israel wants to clear out for new real estate anyway. So Jared Kushner and Donald Trump can their real estate empires can come in here and rebuild the new IDF version of Israel in Jerusalem. All the missiles from Iran did not take out anything of importance in Israel, but they did land in all the older building districts and areas that need to be cleared out anyway. But the Israeli government can't do it because Israeli people live there. They've already taken out Gaza. They've already taken and flattened all of that. But there were still other areas that are technically Israel, not Gaza. And they couldn't just do that to themselves. So they have the Iranians do it. And the Iranians lodge all that. And then the Strait of Hormuz is closed. Why is it closed? Because the United States can fleece its own people, increasing the gas prices when there's never really a gas shortage. United States was always prepared for any type of oil shortage, has plenty of reserves and all the refineries necessary. It was all smoke and mirrors. It was all absolute BS. There never even was a war. The entire time the United States is posturing, all this money is leaving the United States, going into Israel, going into Iran. The Strait of Hormuz is closed. People in the United States are okay with paying the exorbitantly high gas prices. And in the end, it just fizzles out. Just totally fizzles out. But while the world is concentrated on Iranian missiles coming in to hit places in Israel, Israel isn't fighting Iran. Israel is over here bombing the shit out of Lebanon, taking out whole districts and areas. Why? Because Lebanon happens to be inside the IDF plan. Every bit of it, dude. Nothing I said from months ago didn't come true. It's all no World War III. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all bullshit. United States, Iran, and Israel are all working together. And you can tell that Chinese special operative dumbass, he needs to be on the moron index. Professor Zhang, you can tell him to get his ass on somewhere. That stupid shit. Say no World War III. So anyway, 2026. 2026. How do I ask this question? The Iran, this will be a no then. Was the Iran Israel conflict a real war involving the United States? Or was it bullshit? Yes or no? What, was it a real war? Yes. Or was it bullshit? No. This would probably be the only no I'm going to put on the list. Every one of them was a yes for me, but this one, not a real war. Total bullshit. Total bullshit, man. So crazy. Let me move over here. There we go. I should have put that. I should have centered that. I should have centered that last time. We've been going 2 hours and 50 minutes. All the world's a show. It's a circus. It's a circus. The only thing we're missing is a moron index. The whole world's a circus. It kind of begs the question: with all of us agreeing to these scenarios, there's no way. Listen, guys, there's no way that our controllers don't already know that we already believe all these things to be untrue. There's no way. So can you imagine an alternate scenario as to why it would be permissible for the controllers of this world to have so much evidence of everything being total bullshit? There has to be an agenda here. It's not by design. We all agreed almost 100% across the board on all these tenets. So there has to be a motive that we're not seeing. I mean, there's things that we can surmise. Like if I was to give you my best educated guess based off every one of these, let's go back through them real quick. If I was to give you an educated guess as to, okay, so Illuminati's real. Check. All right. Rothschild, central banking. Let me get this out. Central banking elite have been running the world. Check. We all know George Soros is a puppet master of the elite. Check. Ongoing MK Ultra style mind control going on at great prolific level. Bohemian Grove and other elite occult rituals and gatherings, they do happen. And they want us to know the New World Order is not a theory. It's something they want us to know. They want us to know that 9/11 was an inside job by elites. They want us to know about HARP technology. It's not even a secret about weather and controlling. They want us to know about the deep state. They want us to know that there are reptilian shapeshifters here. At least this is the only one where there's a 70-30 split. 70% of people are like, yeah, man, reptilian shapeshifters is real. So they want us to know about the chemtrails. They want us to know that there is predictive programming in media. Believe me, if they didn't want us to know, we wouldn't know it, guys. We would not know it. The ability to lock down information is absolute now. Alien tech cover-up and reverse engineering, it doesn't matter. Remember, alien could be breakaway civilization. Doesn't have to be extraterrestrial. Jet fuel hoax, yeah, man, the planes can't hold near the fuel they claim to hold. Not 150 tons of liquid. It's crazy. Climate change as an elite hoax, they want us to know. They want us to know about the underground bases. They've never kept it a secret. They want us to know about Denver International Airport as a New World Order Illuminati hub, or at least suspect it. They want us to know about Agenda 21 because they publish it for us to know about the whole 2030 agenda and the elite depopulation plan. They want us to know about all of these things. They want us to know about the Great Reset and the World Economic Forum's elite agenda to depopulate the world and to create a whole new utopian society. It is the Great Reset. They want us to know about Pizzagate, the elite pedophile rings, They want us to know about the Epstein network as the elite blackmail operation. It would have been so easy to cover all this up and never allow it on social media. So they want you to know. They want you to know about all the CEOs dropping out in 2019, right before COVID rolled out. And they want you to know about that woman who panicked and ended up dead in her car right after she called her family and said, it's all. We're in a damn matrix. It's a thought experiment. They want us to know that COVID was bullshit. It was all pandemic. Yeah. They even in the news, it's called the plandemic a lot instead of pandemic. They want you to know about the vaccine microchipping, the population control narratives. They want you to know all about the 5G electromagnetic frequency towers, the elite weapons, control grid, all theories. They want you to know about transhumanism. They also want you to know about the elite path to control or immortality, all these schemes attached to transhumanism. They want you to know about the QAnon deal, the satanic global cabal. They want you to understand how stupid. That's the only thing I can think of. They want you to understand how stupid the Q drops are. They want you to understand how stupid the idea is of a satanic global cabal. They're not dumb. These people know they're genius at what they do. They have told us the absolute truth from the very beginning. Missing trillions of dollars, black budget elite funding. Do you really think that if they wanted to hide the information that $21 trillion came up missing from the U.S. budget, that they would just let this woman, Catherine Austin Fitts, go around and talk about it? Hell no. But they want you to know. They want you to know about the 411 cases in national parks. Why? Why would they want you to know this? Because if they didn't want you to know, they'd have offed that dude a long time ago, because he's the main one that brought all this research out. They want you to know about Malaysian Airlines flight MH370. Why? Because as long as Ashton Forbes is out there with his little glasses talking about all this shit, he had you believing it was elite military technology, which is exactly what they want you to believe. They want you to believe everything but what it really is. A technology designed to whisk men and materials out of the construct. Alternative energy hosts. They want you to know. They want you to know how stupid the turbines are. They want you to know how dumb the electric cars are, the Tesla cars. They want you to know how stupid solar panels are. Yeah, believe me, you would never feel stupider than after a hailstorm. Owning land that had a solar farm on it. Yeah, imagine owning the land that the solar farm's on. And you get paid as long as the solar farm is operational. Imagine how stupid you would feel after every hailstorm. They want you to know about our world not really being exactly what they told us, that it's something different and there's a cover-up. They want you. If not, they would have silenced all the flat earth researchers out there. Yeah, their books wouldn't be available in publishing. It's too easy now to control information. So you have to look at it from the perspective that, fuck, they want you to know. They want you to know about Operation High Jump. There's too much information out there from whistleblowers about it now. They want you to know about Operation Fishbowl. There's just too much information out there now from whistleblowers. They want you to understand about that we live in a construct. Simulation theory, the matrix reality is explosive now. It's not just a few random people mentioning it. It's everywhere now. There are many YouTubers who are offended by simulation theory. Absolutely. They talk out the side of their mouth. They don't have any evidence against it, but they talk out the side of their mouth and they're offended by it because it overturns what they're talking about and what they're doing. I get that. But the elite want you to know about it because there's so many books published about it, so many documentaries. Netflix is packed full of whole shows now that show variants of simulation theory. Like that show 1899. There's so many of them now. Why do they want you to know that you're inside a false reality? This is where I'm going with this. Mandela effect. We've talked about it ad nauseum in Archaics. Mandela effect and coincidences and synchronicity, deja vu. This is all direct evidence that you're having an experience that can be edited and modified. You're not in an actual reality. But why would they want you to realize and know these things? Dead internet theory. Why do they want you to understand that most of the shit going on the internet is artificial and that the actual life forms engaged here are far fewer than what we've been led to believe? Why? Why do they want you to know that crisis actors are involved in staged and faked events everywhere? The news has become a parody. It's like it's like, what's that dude, Charlie Ward? It's all pantomime. I'm telling you, it's not real. It's all pantomime. Isn't that what he always says, Charlie Ward? He's right about that, though. It's become comical when you watch the news. It's like, golly, you couldn't have made that. You could not have made that news broadcast faker. You couldn't have gone out of your way and spent more money to make that shit faker. This is where we're at now. It's almost as if through disclosures, we're being told to wake the fuck up. Through disclosures everywhere, we're literally being told, man, you've got to be kidding me that you still believe this shit. Something else is going on here. Yeah, the Ukraine war, the 2026 Israel-Iran war, it's all every bit of it's the same, guys. It's all the same. Let me get rid of that shit. Yeah, man. It's gotten too comical. I can't go through that list and see the responses the community and the collective made and actually believe that I'm living in a real reality. When I'm going through that list, it becomes more and more obvious to me that events that unfold in the field as presented to us through social media and the news are actually a very intelligent form of communication in and of themselves. Are you processing what I'm telling you? The news, no matter how ridiculous it is, and the events that occupy it are the communication, not the events themselves, not the minutia, it's the ridiculousness, the unbelievability, the absolute mind-boggling phenomenon that everything is now starting to seem like the exact opposite is true. So it begs the question, if ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, BBC, Fox, all the mainstream, and then the alt media, which pretends it's not like mainstream, like Tim Pool, Joe Rogan, all these huge, Lex Friedman, PBD, all these huge platforms, the information that trickles down, then the alt, all the things that are reported on social media, when you take it all in, it's a clown world. It in of itself is a fantasy world that we try to rearrange the particulars into a series of facts that make sense of the world, but we're losing that ability. We're losing that ability fast because there's no sense to be made. So the events every week, the events that are conveyed to us through the media are a language, but they're not necessarily telling us that these events are true or false. It's an overall type of communication. And the only thing I can receive from these type of messages when I look at them objectively from the outside without my participation is that someone has thought it necessary to convey the world in such ridiculous confines and terms that my as a reasonable trier of fact, my only conclusion is that this shit can't be real. So if that's the agenda, to continually give me more and more insane narratives that make less and less sense the more and more time passes, that has to be the modus operandi. It has to be the agenda of whoever it is that is designing all these news events, because they are designed. If we agree that we live in in a scripted construct, then the script itself is the communication. And the only message I can receive from such a communication as this is that you have literally you have flooded me with so much information proving to me that nothing here is actually real. It's all bullshit. And if that's the message you're trying to convey to me, then it must be so important that if the majorum agrees to this, that it's going to invoke some type of systemic change. And there's no other way. There's no other way I can process this information. There's no other way that I can interpret all this as a form of communication trying to convey something to me if there wasn't a reason why it had to be conveyed in this manner. Why couldn't you just do a news event, show it on every single mainstream venue, hijack every YouTube channel, show the exact same presentation to make sure the entire world saw it? Everybody's BitChute, Odyssey, Truth Show, Social, GitHub, all of a sudden every channel taken over to show the same broadcast where you're just telling people, guys, you're in a mathematical construct and you're going to continue as different consciousnesses and different personalities to be enslaved and imprisoned in this construct if you do not collectively wake the F up. The only way we can all get out of here is together. And the only way we're ever going to escape this reality is if we all begin to disbelieve it. But the conveyance can't be direct like that. That's why it's not being done. Because a construct has an overseer, and the overseer is probably preventing that type of communication or disallows it. So because articles and because books couldn't convey the information in the 60s, 70s, and 80s through Philip K. Dick and other people like him, someone decided that the only way we're going to be able to get out of here is to wake everybody up. The only way to wake everybody up is to have a telecommunication system that everybody's interfacing on, and then be able to communicate that way. And when that was done, the internet, then they realized, well, shit, we can't even wake people up like this because people are just stupid. So now they begin to script events that are so fundamentally flawed and ridiculous that people see the events like, wow, that is just dumb. And you got people like Jason of Archaics advocating for the invention of a moron index because things are just so stupid now, just so dumb. How far down the road of idiocy do we have to go before we collectively realize that none of this is real and that somebody has been trying to tell us? That's my presentation, guys. There is no definitive answer that can be provided for all this. All I can do is a logic train of how I got to where I am today. That's my presentation right there, guys. How far down the idiot scope are we going to travel before we collectively as a species realize that this shit isn't real and that this realization collectively collapses the experience and we are free? That's my presentation. That's it. All right. I did notice during the show, people already hitting me up. Like I said, we're not doing what we did last year. I'm not going through no bullshit, no drama. When we close the doors for Cypher, they'll be closed through the entire NFL season. And then like last year, after Super Bowl, we'll open the doors back up. But this year we're doing some heavy shit. Got too many people, too many predictions experts involved, and new software, and I'm not trying to hear it. So my phone's been blowing up during this whole episode. But that's what's on my mind right now is the Cypher project. I was going to do a Cypher video here in about an hour and a half, but man, I'm kind of drained after this. I need to eat. I got Saturday tomorrow. Saturday, I'm free all Saturday. I think I'm gonna postpone the Cypher till tomorrow when I have more energy. Plus, I got a bunch of new charts I need to show them guys. Oh, and girls. We got quite a few women in Cypher now. Thank you, One Tux. I appreciate that. So, Archaics Underground, you guys know we do have 2 new shows coming out. Yeah, 2 new shows. One of them is Moron of the Month, but we're going to be doing it every week because, it's Moron of the Month, but it's a weekly show. It's because there's a lot of morons out there. And the other show is the one I've been talking about for a while. This is one everybody's going to really want to watch. This is going to be Archaics News and Intel Reports. And it's when I have a newsroom now. And it's this, I'm going to be giving you the business from the Jason of Archaics perspective. And yeah, and I'm not going to hold back. But it's only in the underground because this shit can get me in trouble on YouTube. I mean, those are in the underground. Underground, I'm just gonna tell you now, underground is huge. It's a lot to do in there. It is not a website, it is a platform. It is the Archaics platform. It is huge. It's got all kinds of stuff in there. People from other communities, there's people from David Icke's community in there. There's people from Ancient Aliens community in there. There's people from all different communities are in the underground. It's awesome. It's a badass everything that we got in there. But we also go live every week in the underground for about 3 hours, and now we're going to have two more programs for the underground. And it's $5.52 a month. It's not much, but $5.52 a month, and there's more than you can do in a lifetime. Just the library in underground, you wouldn't be able to read all those books in your life. A bunch of PDFs of old books, videos, all kinds of stuff. And to remind you, I don't know if anybody, thank you, Husky. I don't know if any of my mods, I haven't been paying attention, but we have tickets for San Diego meetup and beach party. So also bars and restaurants we'll be doing while we're there. But we still have tickets for sale for the San Diego meetup. They're $138 a piece. It's a 2-day deal. Let's see. I think there's some tickets left for the Ireland meetup here later this month. I can't remember. But yeah, man, this has been fun. And like 24 hours ago, I had just conceived of this after the Jesus video. I thought, man, I don't know why we haven't done this type of analysis with all the conspiracies, all the most popular conspiracies. But to me, to sum it up succinctly, nothing makes sense. So that must be the message. It has to be the message. It's nothing that nothing makes sense. So it's the news, the events of the news themselves are the communication, not the events themselves. It's hard, not what's being reported. Essentially, all the minutia of the event now. It's the events themselves as far as a whole string of events. When you put them all together and try to make sense of them, and it's a whole different message than trying to think that historical events reported in the news are actually historical events, and they don't have a greater value here. So, yeah, man. Let's see. Cynthia Cox, you've got speaker. I don't know what you're talking about because I don't have any connection whatsoever to Georgiani. You've got speaker with Jason Reza Jordan. No, I don't have anything in common with that guy. As a matter of fact, I wanted to debate him. I called him out for a debate on the Atlantis stuff because he's an error. He knows he's an error, just like Hancock and everybody else who's published material on Atlantis. As a chronologist, I'm bringing the receipts. I have everything you need to know about how to date Atlantis, and none of these guys want to debate it. Jason Reza Georgiani is another one that doesn't want to debate that shit on Atlantis. He may have some really good stuff on other topics, but when it comes to the actual chronological history and what the historical record reveals about Atlantis, yeah, he's far from the mark. Far from the mark. Let's see. Yeah, man. Let's see. Doomslayer 138 You can email Archaics138. It's in the description box. Archaics138 at gmail if you want to know anything about Cypher. Yeah, Cypher's a private community, guys. It ain't free to get in. Now, people in there, man, blood, sweat, and tears. And the reason it's not free to get in is because as soon as you get in Cypher, you're able to download the 11th upgrade of the event prediction software, man. We're not trying to hear that. You don't get that free. It took years to develop all this. And it took a lot of people to put their input in and all that. I'm a chronologist when it comes to drinking. You need to stop. You need to stop. Yeah, man. That was a good one. That was a good one, man. You know what? I feel like playing the old Archaics battle anthem. Might be a little too rough for some of y'all. Love you guys.
Uniformitarian liars in the dust. Your theories rust in cataclysm. We trust. Flash freeze the fraud. Petrify your pride. Archaics truth. It's no place to hide. Shattered realms. Your world implodes. Catastrophist. Thunder down your throat. It explodes. No evolution. Draw notes. The rolling lie. We're the storm bringers. Watch your dogma die. Dogma die. Dental rings twisting, your date's all a scam. Relative bullshit from the academic clam. Hancock and Carlson, gaslighting clowns. 9600 BC, that's fairy tale grounds. Governor's buried in your uniform fog of seals and boards. Prove your timelines apart. Fossils in 3D fighting, birthing alive. Same creatures today, your myth will survive. Simulation cage, age from command. Energy conserved, your free think man. Dark satellite lurks, nemesis calls the shot. Your gradual grind, Archaic says not. Uniformitarian liars in the dust. Your theories rust in cataclysm. We trust. Flash freeze the fraud. Petrify your pride. Archaic truth hits no place to hide. Shattered realms, your world implodes. Catastrophist, thunder down your throat, it explodes. No evolution, crawl, no slow rolling lie. We're the storm bringers. Watch your dogma die. Dogma die. You edit the data, compartmentalize fear Lucretius warned, but you plug your ears. Beethoven fought, they saw through the veil. Your mind's a filter, your science a fail. Prison planet pushers, soul trapped deceivers. We break the code, we're the true believers. No ice age goals, no period straight walk, just resets and ruins in the RKX. Human fossils mock your revolutionary rave. Antarctica's forest flash frozen the fall. Vapor sky crash stands at the call. Blavatsky's ghost sits in Shaw mistake. Your ancient aliens all phony and fake. Where the mavericks have goods map in hand. Your uniform world sinking in quicksand. Uniformitarians, liars in the dust. Your theories rust in cataclysm we trust. Flash freeze the thought, petrify your pride. RKX truth hits, no place to hide. Shattered realms, your world implodes. Catastrophist, thunder down your throat, it explodes. No evolution, claw, no slow rolling lie. We're the storm bringers. Watch your dogma die.